Oh, give thanks unto the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. Oh, give thanks unto the power of powers, for his mercy endureth forever. Oh, give thanks to the Lord of lords, for his mercy endureth forever. To him who alone doeth great wonders, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that by wisdom made the heavens, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that stretched out the earth above the waters, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that made great lights, for his mercy endureth forever. The sun to rule by day, for his mercy endureth forever. The moon and stars to rule by night, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that smote Egypt in their firstborn, for his mercy endureth forever. And brought out Israel from among them, for his mercy endureth forever. With a strong hand and with a stretched out arm, for his mercy endureth forever. To him which divided the Red Sea into parts, for his mercy endureth forever. And made Israel to pass through the mist, for his mercy endureth forever. But overthrew Pharaoh and his hosts in the Red Sea, for his mercy endureth forever. To him which led his people through the wilderness, for his mercy endureth forever. To him which smote great kings, for his mercy endureth forever. And slew famous kings, for his mercy endureth forever. Sihon, king of Amorites, for his mercy endureth forever. And Og, the king of Bashan, for his mercy endureth forever. And gave their land for an heritage, for his mercy endureth forever. Even an heritage unto Israel his servant,
for his mercy endureth forever.
Who remembered us in our low estate,
for his mercy endureth forever.
And hath redeemed us from our enemies,
for his mercy endureth forever.
Who giveth food to all flesh,
for his mercy endureth forever.
Oh, give thanks unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of heaven,
for his mercy endureth forever.
I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kardash.
God, hey, I just wanted that bench kind of in the way, if we could come in between both benches and that's pushing us out. We got the longest on the bench, you see on information about hey, thank you. Know that? Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh
Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kardash.
Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who we learned the truth of the gospel of Yahushai from. Honors to you brothers that are preaching the gospel of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai in all sincerity, diligence, and truth. And peace, grace, and blessings be upon the house of David, which is the elect. All right, brother, can give me, I think it's Mark 4:15. If I'm not mistaken, where it says, at that time, Yahweh went to go preach the gospel. Please find the scripture where it says, at that time, Yahweh went to preach the gospel. Nah. It might be Matthew 3:15. You know, because it's the whole point, the message. The reason why we out here, all right, coming out here week in and week out, is to wake up the elect of the nation of Israel, to show Israel their transgressions, all right, and the house of Jacob their sins, man. Because we at the time of the who the world calls God, all right, whose true name and the only name is Yahweh, all right, through his son Yahushai, all right, it's time for their kingdom to be established on the earth, man. You know, that's the prayer that Yahushai, taught us how to pray when the disciples asked him. You know, hey, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. And all of the things that's happening in the world right now is according to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is being done on the earth, man, as it is in heaven. You know, because the world that we live in right now is completely, upside down. You know, but it's been esteemed as a potter's clay. You know, you got the evil being called good, and you got good being called evil. You know, and you got the Lord has this certain elect men who the Lord gave different spirits to, and a few sisters who sees the wickedness of this place, man, and who are sighing and crying for the abominations that are being done here. So what is the Lord doing? Because as we just read, his mercy endures forever, he is remembering the mercy that he has, that he promised unto the seed of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You can also hold me Luke 1:68. But give me that, if you found that in Mark, was it? Or Matthew? It might be Matthew. Yep, there we go.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 17. For that time, Yahushua began to, Matthew chapter 4, verse 17. From that time, Yahushua began to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
You know, hey, and that's the message, man. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Okay, and there's also another one that's a correspondent to that, where it says, repent and believe the gospel, for the kingdom of the Most High is at hand. And that's what we're coming out here to teach, man. The gospel, which the word gospel means good news. All right, and the good news is that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and you Israelites from your father's seed, all right, whoever this word, all right, the gospel, the truth, if it bears witness with your spirit that you are a child of the Most High, that what? We're at the end of this thing, man. We're at the end of our captivity. We're about to enter into the kingdom wherein is peace and righteousness, man. Wherein the righteousness shall dwell. Because, you know, for so long, we've been living in a kingdom of evil, of wicked. All right, and now we're seeing the fruits of this kingdom, this wicked empire. This is why you got death all around the corner. You know, brothers, when we was coming up here, we were just speaking about how a man killed his wife, I believe in his two children, and that's a common occurrence that's happening now, man. That spouses are killing each other, mothers are killing their children, you know, fathers are killing their children. And that's because that's one of the prophecies that the Lord said was going to happen in these last times. That what? Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You know, and everybody got that demonic death spirit on them, man. Okay, nobody has the spirit of you know, being calm, you know, trying to be reasonable, trying to be logical. Everybody's just irrational and emotional, and things are just happening in the world that's just chaotic, man. And that's only going to intensify. It's only going to get worse and worse as you get more of the plagues hit this place. As the inflation gets higher and higher, which you got the Fed, you know, these world leaders are talking about it left and right, that more pain is coming. You know, winter pain, energy pain, food prices going to be rising higher. You got, I seen this article said that Family Dollar and the Dollar General said that the majority of their customers now are people that make $80,000 or less. Yeah, the upper, well, $80,000. So I guess that would be considered the middle class. Yeah, you know, they said that in the past quarter that their revenue spiked because most people, a lot of wealthier people, are shopping there. So if they, and I was thinking, I'm like, well, if the wealthy people are shopping there, that means like these higher end stores are not getting you know, as much commerce. And I just went to the American Dream mall last week, and more than half, like 70% of that store, that mall is empty, man. 70% of that store, a lot of stores that were supposed to open up never opened up. And the stores that are opened up, they're actually closing down, closing down their stores early and early. So I went there around like 4 p.m. and the mall didn't close till 7, but a lot of stores were closed. I'm like, yo, why these stores closed? Because that's a replication of America, man. America's retail, America's stores, America itself is closing down. Babylon cannot be healed, and the Lord is doing that because of what? Because the Lord is about he's about to establish the kingdom of the Most High, man. His kingdom on the earth, which is the kingdom of Israel, and that's what we're waiting for, man. You know, that's why we're out here. That's why we labor. That's why we're giving diligence, because we know that this place is over. The prophecies are happening, man. Whether you want to believe it or not, the words that are in the scriptures are alive and speaking.
This is Ecclesiastes 12 and I'll start at 3. And the days where the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders shall cease, because they are few.
Yeah, he's saying the days where the keepers of the house shall tremble. And it says what? In the first verse it says, remember the Creator in thy youth, before all these things happen, man. Okay?
Let me start up with
Oh, yeah, you can read it, bro.
because that's all that to Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth,
Yep.
while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh.
And it said, while the evil days come not. Because, hey, the scripture tells us that in the end, was that Ezekiel 7, the end has come, and then he equates the end to what? Evil, man. So the Lord is telling us that the end of this age is going to be evil. It's going to be bad times. So he is giving us the warning, the ones who the book of remembrance was written for, to what? To remember the Lord in the days of thy youth before these things happen, man. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way. You know, repent. Turn back from the evil time so that the Lord can have mercy upon you, because his mercy endures forever. But his mercy is only going to endure for the ones who remember the Lord, man. The ones who sought the Lord. Because Yahweh said in Revelation 3rd chapter, I stand at the door and knock. Okay? And how is the Lord knocking? This is how the Lord is knocking right now, man. But the fact that he set his prophets up, rising early, big B time, sending them. Okay? Somebody give me Jeremiah 6. So it says, remember it before the evil days, because now we're in the evil times. You know? And the Lord is still having mercy while these evils are growing. But as it says in 2nd Ezra, that for all of their scourges they shall not be amended. There's a lot of people that are not going to amend, although they heard these things. That's why the elect is a small remnant, it's a small number. The ones who the Lord is going to protect. And the Lord always dealt with small numbers, man. At the time of Gideon, the Lord always he dealt with the small number. At the time of the Maccabees, it wasn't a large army that the Lord needs to do his power, to show his power. And rather, he uses small so he can magnify his power even more, man. Okay, so hey, the believers, starting with the prophets, the Lord is going to magnify us, Lord, when we are part of that number in these times, man, to show his power, because we remembered him in the days of our youth, man. A little bit more.
Yeah. When the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Yep.
While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain.
Yeah, man, because see, at the end of the day, it tells you that in Proverbs, people are going to seek the Lord, man. When all hell breaks loose, people are going to seek the Lord. They're going to try to make peace with God. Try to, do the Lord's will. But at that point, that's the Lord said, well, I'm not going to hear you. It's the ones that saw him before these things happened, before the all hell broke loose, when they turned to the Lord in their so-called, comfort or so-called time of not trouble. That's when the Lord is going to see that these are my true servants, man, because they sought me before all hell broke loose.
Yeah, and the Lord referred to us as his woman.
Right.
And if you think about it, dealing with a woman, when you down and out, you ride with that woman. When you come up, if you happen to come up in the world and get millions of dollars, you always down or ride with that woman that was with you from the beginning when you ain't had shit. Right. And a lot of people ride with their high school sweethearts and shit like that because when they ain't had shit. Because once you actually come up and hit a certain level of actual riches, you don't really know, like, why this woman with you for. And more than likely, it's for your finances. But you kind of want to give that woman everything, like Conor McGregor. His woman, which was remarkable, she wrote a letter to him, and she was basically saying, like, how she loved him. She was there with him when he, like, doubted himself, and all the way to where he came up. And that's one thing people also love about the Rocky movies, about Adrian. Because Adrian dealt with Rocky when he ain't really had shit, all the way to when he was rich, when he fought Mr. T, to when he lost everything in Rocky 5. She's still with him. Then when later on in Creed and all those movies, she died off even by Rocky's side. And those the women that you give everything. So the comparison I'm making is we the Lord's woman. And we dealt with the Lord from our youth, from a youthful age and during the youthful time of the world when prophecy wasn't like really hitting as hard, and we had faith and believed and we held on. And that's when the Lord going to treat us and give us everything under his son Yahweh's side, because we kept the faith just like you would do with a woman.
That's beautiful.
And the days of prophecy is right now, and we still enduring. So he's looking at those men that's out here every Saturday men that's dealing with tribulations, and he like, yo, y'all still with me? You know what I'm saying? We going through people rebuking us on a high level. You know, you got these internet sensations that try to ridicule us for doing what we do. They call us the Grumites and everything, and we still doing it. So, you know, that's like loyalty.
Yeah, so this is the point when you were saying the mall was closed. Verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low.
Hey, when the sound of the grinding is low, man. All right, and there's actually a lot of talk throughout Babylon and even other parts of the world, but I seen it mainly here in Babylon, that they were saying like in this fourth quarter, they're expecting a lot of layoffs, man. You know, a lot of people are going to be laid off, and they're going to be laid off at a time where inflation is getting even higher. And all of these other, you know, these shortages and these bills, people's bills are piling up. All right, a lot of people are not paying their late bills. Okay, whether it be their gas or their phone, their electricity, their mobile late bill, their rent. So all that's happening, and then people are going to be laid off. What is that going to cause? That's going to cause even more frustration, man, to the point where people are going to start rioting. I just seen also earlier today that they added Singapore to the list of countries where there's social unrest now. Indonesia. I think was it Indonesia? It might have been Indonesia that I saw. It was Indonesia. So you gotta, and this, as you see, it's happening to like the first world countries, but it's shifting to a lot of, it's happening to the third world countries, but it's shifting to the first world countries. Because you got places like France, places like Italy, that are considered supposed to be westernized civilizations, but they're in straits right now, man, economically. And it's all designed, you know, we know that this devil is manufacturing all these things, but these people don't know that. They're just reacting. And that's the whole reaction, problem, reaction, solution that Esau is using to push this agenda that, you know, we always talk about. That's a part of the warning, man. Because a lot of people, they don't realize that they're being coerced into, squeezed into this path. It's like they're being funneled right into the path of the Karadma, right to the MOTB. And because they're not accustomed to the straight gate, because they're not accustomed to the pain and that type of environment, they're just going to look for the easiest solution out of it. And the only thing that's going to be in front of them is what? Taking that CHIP. But for the ones who remember the Lord in their youth, hey, the Lord gave us a mindset to not even love our lives to the death, man. You know, we'd rather die than to have to bow the knee, man. Okay? You can give me Romans 7, 11, where it says, yeah. But what you had?
Yeah. And also, I was going to say that they're saying now that in Argentina, I think there's the 4th death now from unknown illness.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're saying there's this unknown illness in Argentina, and now it's killed up to 4 people. You know, and the numbers are pretty much going up. And like you were saying about they're saying that this quarter that's coming up, it's pretty much gonna like shake things up, because the Fed came out and technically they admitted that they cannot control inflation, because no matter what they do, like tightening policies, raising interest rates, they said that alone is not going to calm inflation down. But the problem is the government is using deficit spending. So the feds can't take the appropriate measures because the government actually depends on inflation, because they have something called an inflation tax. So all the debt that the government is in, they're trying to reduce that debt by taxing the people through inflation. So the government is surviving off of inflation, which is what the Fed is trying to fight, and they're saying we can't fully fight this because the government is depending on this. So if we were to try and increase interest rates, we'd have to do it on a super high level, which could cause the government to go bankrupt, or we'd have to leave inflation, which could lead to hyperinflation and kill the economy either way. So it's like suicide either way, and the problem is, if they don't do anything, it's also suicide. And so they're screwed.
Yeah. Inflation reduction,
which makes no sense, because how are you going to reduce inflation by pumping more money into the economy, which is going to lead to more inflation?
So you need to have to tax the people. That's why that's why they got the IRS, all right, being basically militarized, you know, because they're going to be the ones to enforce these unjust laws when people start bugging up.
Right here in New York City, they got the MTA giving like a drive below 60th Street. They're gonna have like London, they give like a surge. a surge tax for driving, a congestion tax.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they trying to fight it now. Yeah, they people fighting like hell to fight it. Then what they gonna? It's just gonna because this the same thing as Rome. What made Rome collapse was that people started rioting from the oppression because they started taxing everything. Then a lot of these bridges and shit and highways that don't got tolls and shit on them, they gonna first of all the tolls that's here gonna go up. You know, the fucking Holland Tunnel like $16. Staten Island, Verrazano Bridge, that's like $16, and they keep jumping. Then these bridges that don't have tolls, they don't put tolls on them. Like 280 and shit, 78 that don't have tolls, they're gonna start building tolls and shit on them to try to keep squeezing the people and squeezing the people.
Let's read this, man. Read them down. Let's read the scripture.
God, it's the book of Romans chapter 11, verse 7. It says, what then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Is that where it says 7,000?
Oh, that's a couple verses up here. This is the book of
Start at
Romans.
3. Actually, start where you start.
God, this is the book of Romans chapter 11, verse 3. It says, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life.
Yep. Hey, that happened to Elijah, you know, but hey, we're kind of in that same step, man. You know, they haven't killed us physically, but they try to kill our character. You know, they try to make us out to be extremists or out to be a hate group, all these different things, man. To the point where now, you know, you hear about the Israelites, there's a negative connotation, you know, to this world with that terminology, man. You know, and it was seen as though we're alone, but as even Yahweh Shai said, like, well, we're not alone, man. Because even when Yahweh Shai was alone, he said, I'm not alone because my Father's with me. So we not alone because Yahweh Shai is with us. He said that he'll be with us even to the end of the world, man. And we're at the end of the world. And that's why we're able to stand so boldly and stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in the midst of this world, man. Go ahead.
Verse 4 says, but what saith the answer of God unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
That's right. No, 7,000 representing a completed number. All right. The Lord has reserved. It's going to be, and this is why we say that we hope to be the elect, because we don't know if the Lord, we don't know who the Lord has predestined, but we do know that there's a predestined number that is going to be reserved and won't bow the knee, that won't have that spirit of conformity, because that's what it is. When you bow, basically you're worshiping or you're conforming to that deity or that government's authority, man. You know. And when it comes to our salvation, when it comes to idol worship, we're like the three holy children. All right, we're like the three holy children. You can find me the scripture in Daniel. I think it's in Daniel, the 3rd chapter or the 5th chapter, where Shadrach, they said to the king, it was like, look, this is how we're going to answer you. And they used the word careful. He said, we're not careful to answer you concerning this. You know, because we're not. Because when you go into the word careful there, right, it's talking about that we're not timid or we're not anxious to give you an answer concerning bowing the knee to this beast, man. We already know what the answer is. We don't got to meditate on it. We don't got to think about it. We don't got to be like, oh, you know, my house, my kids. Hey, we're not careful. We're not full of care to give this devil this answer. It's no, man. We ain't doing it. You know, we're not going to be transition. We're not going to transition into this beast system, man. Once you get this, once you put this in play, which we want you to do, all right? And we're the ones, we're telling you to do it, but although we're not going to be partaking of it, because we know that these things must come to pass, man. All right, because in order for our kingdom to come, we got to do this 4th industrial revolution, this great reset. All right, but that's not going to be for his success. That's going to be for his downfall. Although, and the Lord got him in the trick bag because he thinks that that's actually going to be something that's going to succeed when he's about to fill his belly. You found it? All right.
Daniel 3:16, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king.
You can sum up a little bit just to give the context of what he was saying?
Yeah. So let me go to, I'll go to 13 first. Then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king.
Yep. Hey, Yahweh Shai told us that we were going to be brought before magistrates, brought before kings and governors for his namesake, man. All right, and this is in Babylon. And what is this called? This is called what? The daughter of Babylon, the virgin daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great. Okay, and Nebuchadnezzar set up an image that he commanded his whole empire to bow the knee to when the sound of the trumpet and the psaltery and all that was playing. All right, the sackcloth, yep. And that's what this devil is doing right now. And he's enraged as well, because I don't know if brothers listen to it, I seen a little excerpt of Biden's the speech that he gave the other day. Yeah. Basically, you see how like the background was black and red? It looked like V from Vendetta, man. Just straight like V from Vendetta, you know? And he was basically saying like how they gotta, the time is coming, we gotta fight for democracy, that you gotta fight against extremists, you know? And they was trying to use the cloak of the MAGA, but we know what they're really talking about, man. Because they're gonna try to group everything, whatever is extreme. And then you had his secretary, she said that anybody that talks against the majority of what Americans' ideology is extreme. So they telling you. And I remember brothers had brought out a couple of weeks ago, I forgot where it was at, but that lady, she was speaking, she was like, anything that we don't say isn't the truth. I forgot what country that was.
New Zealand or Australia, one of those.
One of those. Anything that she said, well, anything that you don't hear from us is false news or is fake news, misinformation.
We are your truth.
Yeah, we are your truth. And that's how this devil is coming, man. You know? Because what? Because it told you in 2nd Ezra 7th chapter that truth was going to be the reason why this corruptible age is deceased, man. Why this corruption is ended. Okay? Because that's how Esau built his kingdom. He built it off of lies, he built it off of deceit. So how do you take down this kingdom? Our weapons of warfare are not carnal. It's by what? It's by bringing down the strongholds, by speaking the gospel, speaking the truth. Yahweh said, I am the truth, I am the way. So us coming out here and speaking truth in this world of lies is literally breaking down his foundation. So we are the ones that's a real threat to this devil, man. But he's going to call it extreme. So speaking truth really is extreme because you're in a world of lies, man. And these people know it. They live in this bubble of lies. The fake bodies, that's the lies. You know, they're passing it off. The people have gotten to the point where fake bodies are being passed off now as actually authentic. Women are really like, oh, this is my shit. Men are like, yo, I like that better. Like you're liking that, and that's where you get the whole augmented reality from. Okay, that's what this devil is creating, an augmented reality world, man. Go ahead.
Daniel 3:14, Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now, if ye be ready that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made, well, but if ye worship not...
That's what the devil would do to us, man. You know, you trying to cut a deal with us. Like, look, man, just worship what I'm, be in line with what I'm doing, you know, then we'll treat you well. You can go you can have your job, you can have your house, you can have your white picket fence, you know, and I ain't gonna bother you.
That's what they did with Vanessa.
Yeah.
Took it right
Yep. And incentives. Yep. But then what did he say to the other one? He said what? Our patience is wearing thin.
Right.
You know? Our patience is wearing thin. Because this devil wants what? He wants us to bow the knee because he knows that's the only way that he can really maintain his power. Okay, these elites, they know that it ain't about, they got the military, they got the money. That's why it ain't about money. I mean, of course, it is always going to be that, but now they want the human resource. They want you. Right. You know, they want you. They got your money. They got you paying subject to payments. They got all that. No, we want you. We want you to be ours. Right. You know, we want to create you in our image.
Right.
You know. Go ahead.
When you look at the address that Biden gave, it was actually called the Soul of the Nations address.
Oh yeah, the soul of a nation.
Yeah, so it's like they tapped into the spiritual.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Like the whole Quran that's coming out is like it's to tap into your spirit, like you said, to own you, the person, to make them your God. Because Karagma goes into that word character. It's the same thing.
And that word character means what? Image.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm
So they want to put their image.
They want to put their image.
In our image. Not,
Right. That's where you get the word car from too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
The word character here says symbol, marked, or branded on the body. Symbol or drawing used in sorcery. It says here, it says the defining quality or individual feature. It says moral qualities assigned to a person by repute. And then here it says a symbol or imprint on the soul, properly instrument for marking. All right, and then it goes into a word. It literally says karax, to engrave.
To engrave.
So there you go. Once you get that MOTV, basically your whole character, your whole being has been taken over. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, and it said right there on your soul. Because what did Yahweh do? When he created man in his image, he blew the what? He blew the breath of life into him, and man became a living soul. Man became a living soul when the Lord basically imprinted on him, gave him his way of life. You know, and that's what this devil is trying to do. He's trying to now create man in his image. You even had that dude Yuval Nori say that, man. You know, he said they're coming out explicitly telling you. So hey, this ain't no spirit theory, man. This is facts. All right, but you got these people that's in their little bubble, in their life, in their bubble world, not realizing that they're still, just because your little 20-mile or 10-mile radius life may not be affected, you got things that's happening on a macro level, man. You still live on the earth, okay? And the Lord, scripture tells you that the Lord is the God of the earth, man. So everything that is happening on a macro level is going to affect you on a micro level. Okay, that's how it starts. Pressure from above, pressure from below. And they're going to keep pressing. They're not, hey, the scripture tells you, Revelation 12:12, that the devil's coming down upon you with great wrath. That downward pressure starts with the top. It starts with the global economics, the global tensions, the global politics, all that stuff, and it trickles down to your life, man. But Jake is in that simple mind, oh man, I can still go to the car, I can still do this, I can still go get my shape ups, everything's still, all right, you're not seeing the transition. And that's why the Lord told us to stay on the watchtower. Because when you're on the top, you can see everything happening from afar off. We see the macro pressures coming and starting about to trickle down to people's personal lives, man. Bird's eye view, yep.
This is, you mentioned the image, the Most High. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 23. It says, for God created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity.
And made him to be an image of his own eternity. And where does the eternity start? I believe it's in the second chapter. It says, for righteousness is immortality. So then you got to go back to, all right, so what is righteous? You know, and then it goes back to the order, the law, statutes, and commandments, and the faith that the Lord gave us, commanded us to have, you know, the Israelites in order to live. So it goes back to serving the Lord, man. That's how you get immortality. And what this devil is doing, they're what do you call it? Inverse. Esau created an inverse reality of what is the way to live, or what is life. Everything that the Lord said, Esau flipped it and turned it upside down. So he's saying that, oh, life is better when people can be sodomites. The Lord tells you that doesn't bring life. In nature, he tells you that. But Esau has gotten so prideful that now he's coming against nature, man. He's literally he's fighting against the natural. And when you read in Romans, the first chapter, it tells you that the things not seen is, if you can pull me that scripture real quick, Romans 1, and you can still hold Shadrach, and then you can still hold Romans. But give me Romans 1, I believe it's around like the 20th.
For the invisible.
Yeah, yep.
This is Romans chapter 1, verse 20. It says, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things.
Start up one verse, let me just see what that says.
God, verse 19. Because that which may be known of God is manifest in them.
Yeah.
Verse 18, it says, for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men.
Yeah, what's ungodly? You got meaning not. So not godly. How do you find out what is godly? The Lord, his word. All right, if they speak not according to his word, it's because there's no light in them. So when you want to find out the will of God, you got to go to the source, man. And these devils, they know that this is the source. They know it ain't no Allah, the Book of the Dead, the Quran, the Kemet, none of those things, man. The Big Bang Theory. They know it's none of those things. Because even Charles Darwin on his deathbed, he denounced his theories and upheld the Bible, man. And he was always reading. I remember I read a article on it. His caretaker said that he was always found reading Hebrews the 6th chapter, which speaks about if you had tasted of the riches, you cannot get it back. So this devil, so Charles Darwin, he was always reading Hebrews the 6th chapter, and always those verses basically signifying that he knew that he was putting out a philosophy that went against the Most High, went against God, and he could never, even though he's an Edomite anyway, but he can never repent for that. He can never go back from that, and that's why he said that on his deathbed he denounced the evolutionary theory, man. But that's still what? That's still being pushed. The creator of it said that ain't real, but it's still being pushed in schools and these
Earth
different
science.
earth science and today, man. Go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 1, verse 18. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who hold the truth in unrighteousness. Because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God hath showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen.
It said, for the invisible things from the creation of the from him. Salaki, read it again, my bad.
For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen.
Yep, the visible things of him from the creation of the world are visibly seen, man. So when you want to know, how do you know God exists? You just got to look around, man. Just the life itself is a evidence of the Most High, man. Because there's when something is created, that means that there has to be a creator. Something had to create this. The ordinances, the sun and the moon, this all happening cannot, nature or order cannot come from chaos. That's Greek mythology, man. That's why they call their gods chaos and Chronos and all those things. You can't create, chaos can't create order. All right? And that's why Esau, his system is not going to be upheld, because he's trying to create order out of chaos. He's trying to create a type of environment based off of chaos, but that can't stand. That's why the Lord said what? That everything must be done in decency and in order. Go ahead.
Harari,
Yeah.
he said that that the Most High actually created organic things, but they're trying to create things inorganic. He said by creating super robots and all these robotic
Intelligent life,
intelligence, AI, and all that.
Splicing seeds,
Splicing, exactly. Changing people's DNA and all that. That's going to create an inorganic world, and that's going to make them quote unquote better than the God of the Bible. He said that.
Yep.
So if these devils who have an agenda to change the whole world are telling you that what we're doing now is to go against the God of the Bible, then where do we get this concept of evolution?
And that guy, he's real close friends with Klaus Schwab.
Yeah, he's an understudy.
Yeah, he's dead.
You know,
so what does that mean? That means that the thoughts that he has, it's not just his thoughts. That's remember, Psalm 64 says what? That in the secret counsels of the wicked. He's not just doing this on his own. They got meetings. They got these groups of individuals called the think tankers that are thinking these things, man. All right. I believe also in Psalms it tells you David would say basically, hide me from the thoughts of the wicked, man. The evil intentions, the cruel intentions that they have. The secret counsel, because that's what they're doing. You know, they're not. They're in their minds, man. Their minds. Remember, these are the elites of the wicked, the top wicked people on the earth. You see a regular Edomite. That's why, like us, they don't get mad at these regular. You see an Amalekite walk down the street, it gets you annoyed, but these little niggas, that's what they are in the spiritual realm. They're little niggas, man. They don't know what the hell is going on. They're walking around deceived too, praying to the bobbing their head to the wall. Well, you never see the Rothschilds ever go bob their head to the wall, man. They like, man, let's leave that for them niggas. we got real shit to deal with, man. They're over there consorting with Satan, trying to figure out, and they're seeing us. You know, because when these Amalekites and these Edomites walk by, they're all confused, like, oh, at least they know what's going on. That's why the scripture tells you that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but we wrestle against principalities and spiritual wickedness and darkness, the rulers of this world, man. This is the elite on the right. The Lord is bad because Solomon said it. He saw this happen. He said, I seen servants upon horses and princes walking the grounds as servants. He was talking about in this time, man, because in his kingdom, his princes looked like kings. I mean, his servants looked like kings. So he wasn't talking about his time. He was talking about the time that we're in right now. He's seen the elites on the right hand of Lord willing, that's us, as servants in a low level of state. And he's seen the servants in a high level, because when you're on a horse, that means you're a high level person, you know, in the ancient world.
Like
You know?
got that statue.
But they took that down.
Oh, they
They-
did?
yeah, and Metro, and that's how you know Esau Kingdom going down, man. They took it down because of cancel culture. And a lot of these American, you know, quote unquote MAGA conservatives, they hate cancel culture. Because what really cancel culture is you being canceled out of your own culture that you set up, your own kingdom. Because a lot of things that the right, so-called conservative or far right, that they stood for, like the Declaration of your Bill of Rights, you know, the you own your private, the right to, you know, ownership of things. But Esau, the Constitution. But Esau, how Satan house divided, they got this whole thing like that we're doing away with privatization. We're doing away with individualism, nationalism. We want globalism. Everybody under that one world, one mind, one order, man. So you can't be a MAGA. It ain't about your personal rights. It's about the collective, that beehive mindset. And when you have that beehive mindset, then you got the elite of the world. Because like bees, they all operate on one accord. The hive mind. So when you have the queen does one thing, or they put out the sensories, everybody is working together in unison. And that's what Esau wants. He doesn't want any outliers. He doesn't want anybody that has that's what we're reading in Daniel. The Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were outliers. They weren't in the mindset of being in the beehive mind, the hive mindset. And that's why they got persecuted.
Mordecai.
Yep, and Mordecai as well. And that's the spirit that the Lord gave into us, man. That we don't operate the way that these people in this world operate. We don't think the same. But going back to the whole the elites of this world, the wicked elites against the elites of the Lord, that's the battle that we're in. The spiritual wickedness in high places. But these regular people, man, they don't know what's going on. All they care about is just being eat, drink, and being merry. Once their eating, drinking, and being merry is affected, that's when they're going to snap, because they're in a zombified state. So as long as they're able to continue to be entertained, continue to be able to get food, continue to be able to drink, what happened? Yeah, as long as their bread and circuses are not affected, they'll stay docile. And that's what you're seeing happening. Hey, when brothers want to speak, make sure brothers raise your hand and don't just chime in, because we got a lot of brothers. You know, so when that gets affected, that's when these people are going to snap. And that's what's happening in Sri Lanka. That's what's happening in Indonesia. Their bread and circuses are now being affected because the inflation is too much. They can't live to their status quo. So now it's like, yo, we need to get our comfortability back. And the government is the problem. They're the ones that's doing these things. And that's where the second Esdras, the 15th chapter, is going to take into effect, man. Say something?
Yeah, today on the news, and I was about to say, the Lord is allowing these devils to be revealed. The Metropolitan Museum is they're getting confiscated or something out of artifacts of other nations and other countries because they took it unlawfully.
Oh yeah. They're ancient, like they're ancient artifacts and stuff. Yeah. Yep. Hey, rich is gotten by the sea. Romans.
Romans 1?
Yeah. That means you read it, right?
Yeah, I think the point was the invisible.
Yeah. Yep. Go back to that.
Quick point I was gonna make, if I could.
Yeah. Go.
Land backing off what the elder was talking about with these devils, these elites. Harari, this is the same devil that said we can make God as angry as we like. You know how much pride you have to say to sit, and I'm talking about he's in front of a press conference of people, and they all laughing, making light of it. But this goes to show you who the wicked of the Bible is.
And he specifically said the God of the Bible.
Yeah.
He kept mentioning it. We can make the God of the Bible angry as we want. Because he knows that it's only, he's an Amalekite. He's an Amalekite that's talking like this. That's how you know that this ain't their book, man. You know, and they know that the God of the Bible is not the God that they serve. They serve Satan, man. All right, and these, especially Amalek, the higher up Amalek, they got one-on-one dealings with Satan. They talk with Satan directly, man. That's how they know. It says, stand now in thy sorceries and thy enchantments. They got their wicked left-hand priests, all right, conjuring up demons, evil spirits, telling them what to do. They got counsels, just like how we got counsels. We seek the Lord to ask the Lord for guidance and answers. They got the same thing, man, on the left-hand side, you know? So that's why he's saying, oh, the God of the Bible. We can make the God of the Bible as mad as we want. He can stop the rain. Talking about basically the flood. He was speaking about like Noah, or actually he might have been speaking about like this drought, but he was saying, oh, he can stop the rain. Yeah, that's what he said. He can stop the rain where we have science that can make it rain. So that's why the Lord said that. That's why Yahweh Shai is going to come down and fight against him, because you don't strive against your maker. You don't take this past just Jacob and Esau. You know, the Lord like, oh, you trying to come for me? You know, and that's why the Lord. That's why David was saying that thine enemies make a tumult against thee. Because if you gonna come at the servants of the Lord's house, you really, Yahweh Shai spoke about that. You come after the servants because you can't really touch the master of the house. Because if Yahweh Shai was on the scene and he was in his regular, you know, if he was back like how he was 2,000 years ago, these devils would try to come at Yahweh Shai. You know the story. I don't know how real it is, if it is real or not, but the story of what they call the black Jesus or the black angel. Right. Yeah, I don't know if it's real or not, whatever. But if that is, they would really try to do that, man. Yeah. They would really try to do that. So they can't, because they can't get to Yahweh Shai, they can't get to the master, they come after the servants. But the Lord is merciful, his mercy endures forever. When you come after us, Isaiah 54 verse 19, because 59 and 14, Salakia, because you coming after us is like you coming after the Lord, man. 59 and 19.
Yep. I got the precept here just mentioned real quick. Matthew 10 and 25. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master and his servant as his Lord. If they have called the master of their house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of his household?
Hey, how much more, man? Okay? So that's why the Lord already set us up to let us know, like, yo, they talk shit about me. What are they gonna do to you? You know, you're a servant. I'm the master and they talked about me. How much more are they gonna call you? And that's why we get called all types of names, man. Pedophiles, rapists, extremists, domestic terrorists. You know, we've literally had beat out on the highways and byways. People drive by talking shit. You drive by talk shits, man. Terrorists! Like, you don't even know what we talking about, man. You know, but that's what the Lord said, but the foolishness of preaching, man. We gotta suffer these things for his name's sake. But there is a reward for that. You know, blessed are you who have suffered for righteousness' sake. You know, great is your reward in heaven, because same like they did to the prophets before you. So it's the same fold coming back, man. And the prophets before us, they held it down. You ain't gonna read no prophet besides Jonah, but at the end of the day, he still did it. But so that goes to let you know that they had that same mindset as well. But it's like, yo, the Lord, if you are called, you're gonna do what I tell you to do, man. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the Lord gonna give you the spirit to do it. Okay, but that also comes with the territory of being ostracized and being afflicted. But that affliction is necessary, man. In the furnace of, you said what? Acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. How is the Lord going to prove your worth if he don't put you in the fire? How are you going to see how valuable your gold is if you don't get tested, man?
All right, back in Daniel 3 and 15. Now, if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made, well. But if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hands?
See, and that's how Esau thinks, man. Okay, who is that? That's the same thing Pharaoh said. Oh, hey, and the Lord always, he always has the antagonist in that mindset, man. So that's why this place is called Babylon the Great. That's why it is spiritual Egypt, because those mindsets that the Lord put in those kings, you got Esau in that same mindset, but the Lord, he gave Esau even a greater technology and infrastructure Or no, he let them be able to search out all things. So Esau is even more prideful than Pharaoh, than Nebuchadnezzar, man, because he got more. You want to say something?
No.
Okay. You know, he got more. So that's what Esau thinks. And what is that God that can deliver you out of my hand? Look what I got. Matter of fact, your God, tell your God to do something. Tell your God to bring a drought. I can make it rain. That's what Pharaoh was saying when Moses was doing the spiritual power. He brought his charmers. He was like, oh, we could do this too. But guess what? It got to a point where the charmers like, yo, see, they messing with real power. Like, we not messing with that. We got a little sorcery, and that's what Esau got. You know? Oh, we got prosthetic. Like, we can make you walk. We can put some shit on your spine. You don't need to get healed by them. I can make you walk with this exoskeleton. I can give you got Alzheimer's. I can fix that. I can make your memories back. But see, that means that shows you that what the Lord now is going to have to heighten our spiritual power. It's something that, all right, well, you can't do that. How are you going to do that? And that's what the raising of the dead. You know, somebody like how Lazarus, 3 days. We call upon the name of the Lord. And somebody, what are you going to say then? You know, or you shoot at us, and it's like in Book of Eli, just bouncing off of us. No vest or nothing. What you gonna say then? And that's why the miracles, I believe that's in Ecclesiasticus 17 or 36 or 36, where it says do new wonders. I believe it might be 36.
36,
Yeah, the Lord's going to do new wonders, man. Because we're living in a time like never before. And this devil, he has those miracles, those pseudo miracles. Because when you go into that word miracles, it says going beyond the natural occurrence of things. So what Esau is able to do through this technology, he's able to go beyond the natural occurrence of things. To the point where people now is expecting Esau to be able to come out with certain shit that is like sci-fi.
Right.
You know? The whole, oh yeah, man, we're gonna be able to see through walls, man, because the technology is growing, the brain chips, the neural link, we're gonna be able to do this. We're gonna just have information that's downloaded into our minds. They're expecting Esau because they look at him as a god. So they're expecting his technology to be able to just to be infinite. But he is not the Lord said, you are not a god. Ezekiel 28. You're not a god, man, and he's gonna show you that real soon. But he gotta let you get to that. He gotta let you get puffed up. He let Pharaoh get puffed up, and he actually made Pharaoh hardened. That's how bad the Lord. He made Pharaoh have this mindset of being prideful, man. And that's how we know that he put you devils in the same position.
Ecclesiastes chapter 36, verse 6. It says, "Shun you son."
Stop.
Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, 36:1. Have mercy upon us, O Lord, power of all, and behold us. And send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee.
Hey, you see how those two things go together? Mercy goes with the Lord beholding us. Because remember, Scripture tells you that he, for a little moment, he turned his back toward us. And when he turned his back toward us, it's like a child. If you turn your back toward your child, you don't know what can happen. You don't know the dangers that your child can get into. That's why they say for a split second, man, you can't take your eye off a small toddler, man. Because in a very small second, he could run into the street. You know, somebody can grab him. He can do something that can injure himself. So you got to be very attentive too. Just like how a shepherd with the sheep got to be very attended to. You can't leave them to themselves because they'll wander off and then they'll get devoured by the beasts of the field. So it says what? Give us mercy and behold us. And then, and then what's the second part to that?
It says, and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee.
And so that's the second part. When the Lord gives us mercy, when he beholds us, when he looks upon us, then that's when these nations get in fear. They see the wrath and the power of the Lord, man. Because it tells you that in the book of Judith, that if the Lord ain't with us, you can do whatever you want to. You can devour them. Their power is not looking at them, you're gonna be good. But if their power is with them, then I wouldn't want to see my worst enemy there, man. You know? So that's in here the door. Yep, that's what I was thinking of too. So that's why this us repenting to the Lord, turning back to the Lord, is that when we turn back to him, He never left us. He turned his back to us, but he never left us. And through Yahweh Shai, now he has extended his mercy and his arms open to us again. So now, once we start returning to the Lord and we're sighing and crying, you know, we're beseeching him. Now he has to, just like how he did in ancient Egypt, he has respect unto Israel. You're never going to find the scriptures where the Lord said he has respect unto any other nation except Israel, man. This is the Creator talking about a nation of people, a family that he said, hey, oh, I got respect unto them. I look after them. I care about their whereabouts, their tendencies, what they're doing. So now that we're turning back to the Lord and we're crying unto him, our cries are reaching unto heaven, and this devil is seeing us turn back to him because we're uploading it. It's worldwide. Now he knows, and we're talking about you and your kingdom, prophesying against your rulership, and he knows about the God of the Bible. That's why they say that. Now they know that, oh, he's going to act, he's going to react on their behalf. So let's continue to keep oppressing them. Let's continue to keep afflicting hell on them. Hey, we're going to have to maybe lock them up. We're going to have to bring out, you know, different laws so that they can't speak. Because the more they speak, the more people are going to believe. And more people believe, more people are going to pray to their God, to their God. And that's what this devil doesn't want.
Real quick, the brother Shalimah had called for a precept. I'm going to bring it out, going off what you were talking about. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not evil, to give you an expected end.
Yep. They say that the Lord already knows. He already had this set up from the beginning, man. See, you can't upset prophecy. You can't change the what is written. So the Lord already written from the beginning that we were going to have an expected end. And that word expected, when you read it in the Hebrew, it means completed. Our end is going to be, we're not going to be left incomplete, man. We're going to have a completed end. He's going to make it whole. He's going to make it complete, full circle, man. We're going back to the first estate. It's not like he said it, that his judgment is like a ring. So it's full circle. You don't get to have us on top, you know, as the sons of God during the time of Adam, or, you know, even in the heavens. But then this is how we end. Why would the Lord do that? Why would he give us that great esteem, a position, but then keep us in this position? No, he's going to bring us back. Right. Everything, life is a cycle. Life itself is a cycle. We were talking about that, you know, before you did a video about life and death. We always say, death is a part of life's cycle, you know? Death isn't the end of life, it's just a part of the cycle of life. So our being in captivity here isn't the end. This is just a part of the cycle of the story that the Lord wrote for us, man. And that's why it says in the book of Jeremiah that Israel has not been forsaken of his power. You know? No point in history did the Lord say, you know, I'm not going to ever, what is that, Malachi 3? Give me that real quick. Malachi 3:8. It said what? That I changed not? 3 and 6? Maybe 6. Yeah.
There's a book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
So there goes your cut to the supersessionism theory, you know, the replacement theory that the Israelites will replace. The Lord said, what? I, the Lord power, change not. Therefore, so because I don't change, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Therefore, the sons of Jacob are not consumed. That's why you have which is called the remnants, the remnant of Jacob, the elect of Jacob. Because of the elect of Jacob, which we'll go back in Romans the 11th chapter, because of the elect of Jacob, the Lord will always have mercy upon Israel for the elect's sake. Because he separated those spirits to be the ones that are going to be the vessels of mercy, to show his mercy in. Although they went off, although they got put into captivity, although they got, being subjected underneath their adversaries, those spirits, they will always return unto me. Because you think about it, in this society, in this time that we're in, 2022, or even from when the elders came out back in the late 60s, 70s, how did Jake get this? This wasn't something that was published. This wasn't in the news. This wasn't in the these museums. This information did not come from this earth, man. And that in itself is an indication of the Most High not consuming Jacob. And the fact that it spread abroad this far, you know, I just seen a brother just set up camp over there in Bogota, Colombia, man. And one of my friends is Colombian, and he knew about the truth when I first came into the truth because he's one of my close friends. And he was like, and I showed him a still shot of it. I was like, yo, we everywhere, you ain't never there. And he was like, yo, I've always wondered if there was a camp out in Colombia, Bogota, Colombia. And I'm like, look, man, the Lord has it spread everywhere, man. And all you need is one. All you need is one voice that's going to spread, and then the Lord do the rest, because that's what he told Ezekiel, prophesying to the wind. And Ezekiel, you know, that the prophecy, he spoke the word, and the dry bones became an exceedingly great army. I know Shalom says sorry.
Oh, I was going to add to that point where the Lord said the sheep, if you had 100 sheep and lost one, would you not tie the 99 up and go looking for that one? Because that one sheep is real valuable. So he's like you were saying, it only takes one.
Right.
So you say like one brother in this one area, and you know he's diligent, you know, eventually that word is spread throughout that whole region just off of one brother.
And that's how bad the spirit is, man. You know, just one person can wake up. Hey, Elijah, it tells you that in the prophecy that he was going to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children and the children to the fathers. All right, it started with just one man, Elijah, which was like, once again prophesied that was going to happen in this time. All right, which we believe was Elder Abba Bivens, and from him it spread throughout China, Japan, Colombia, South America, so-called Africa. Okay, you got brothers in the tongue of Ham speaking the doctrine of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. Australia. All right, speaking in Tagalog, which is a Filipino language. And that's prophecy. The Lord said, with stammering lips and another tongue shall I teach my people. So this devil, you can't stop what's happening, man. And this knowledge came from the spirit world, came from literally the spirit realm, and that's something that you can't obtain. You can't obtain this, man. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, you got something?
This is Jeremiah 31:3. The Lord had appeared of old unto me, saying, Yea, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness.
Oh, you can break down, bro.
All right. Have I drawn thee? So basically going to add to the elder's point that the Lord said he has an everlasting love. So his love is never going to go anywhere for the nation of Israel. Continuing verse 4, it says, Again, I will build thee, and thou shalt be built, O virgin of Israel. Thou shalt be adorned with tabrets, and shalt go forth in the dances of them that make merry. So the Lord's going to set us up, but set us up better than we were during the time of Adam.
Go back and
Daniel 3:16, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter.
Yep, he said, "Oh Nebuchadnezzar," because Nebuchadnezzar, the king, basically told him, like, look, if you don't serve my image, if you don't bow the knee, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna throw you in this fiery furnace, man. But if you do, then it's gonna be well with you. You're gonna be good in my society. And what they said, they didn't contemplate it. They were like, yo, man, we're gonna get burned up. He was like, yo, oh king, yo, we're not careful to answer you on this, man. We don't gotta think about it. We're not over here weighing the odds of, you think we're gonna kill us? Nah, man. We're not careful to answer you on this matter. And read on. You got something to back it out? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was straight disrespect.
Yeah, of course. And this is the king. Yeah. Remember, they're in captivity. These are slaves inside of a kingdom, although they were higher of nobility, but they were still in Nebuchadnezzar's eyes, you're still a slave, nigga. Like, don't matter, like you're still a slave. You know, now they treated in the ancient world, they treated nobilities of other nations, you know, better than they would treat like the regular common people. But at the end of the day, he's still threatening with death, right? In a painful death at that. Right. You know.
God, real quick, this is Philippians chapter 4, verse 6. It says, "Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God."
Hey, and that's why you gotta understand words, man. You know, I can say, I'm sure our brothers can attest, this truth, you know, through how the elders taught us, instilled in us researching words, man, the meaning of words, because it brings it more to life. It gives it more understanding. Because if you read that face value, it said, be careful for nothing.
Right.
Like, so I'm not supposed to be careful? Like, all right, fuck it, let's go play in the street. You know what I mean? Well, oh, good Lord got me, let's go. No, it's not talking about that. When you go into the Greek meaning of the word, and brother pull it up, it means don't be anxious, man. Don't have anxiety. And that's a big thing, and especially here in Babylon, everybody got some form of fucking anxiety, man. And a lot of it has to do with finances, work, you know, trying to cost of living. And then on top of that, because of how everything is unfolding, all these plagues and things hidden, you got more anxiety being built on top of those things. Now you got people worried about their rent, you know, being sky high. Then you got people worried about these diseases. People still walking around with masks on and shit. That's something you gotta be worried about. Oh, I don't want to catch the Rona. Now I don't want to catch the MP. But now I don't want to catch this unknown disease. Like, you can't even do nothing. And on top of that, you go to the grocery store, I can't afford this. And if you do and if you can afford it, it's not in this store. I gotta go 15 miles to another store. And then my baby, like, everything is just more stress on stress on stress on stress. And if you don't got no comfort, if you got nowhere to release that stress, that becomes now it's pent up. And then you get angry, you get frustrated, you get furious. And then that's when you gonna see the social unrest. But us, we got the comforter. So you ain't gonna see no brother or believer, man or woman, in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, stressing and social and, you know, uprising, because we're already comforted. We already know, because that's what people do that for. They're trying to release the anger. They say that in the movie The Purge. It's my right to release the beast. That's what they doing. It's my God right. Yeah.
They gotta go there like, you like, what the fuck you do that for? He's like, yo, I just gotta release some steam.
Yep. And that's why you see people killed. They go on they say where they black out. Or they killing their kids. Dude, I seen in Florida, Tampa Bay, Florida. I think it was on Thursday. Dude and his wife and his children was in a house. I read the article. The wife went to go put the kids to sleep. So she kissed them on the head goodnight. She left, and the husband is in the house. He goes into the room, pops him in the head, pops the daughter in the head 4 times, shoots the son in the head. The son didn't die. So he shot the son in the head, and then the wife thought it was outside, because she thought it was outside of her house. So she was like, what are these gunshots? And no, it's in Florida, so they probably used to hearing people shoot maybe armadillos or shit like that. So they was like, what's going on? And then they said the neighbor said, I called the cops already. Then the father comes out of the house with the son in his hand, talking about, help! But he don't I'm like, yo, was this a straight demon on him real quick? Yo, you on the son and like, help, call somebody. I'm like, yo, but that's how people are, that's the times that we're living in, man. People are literally snapping. I don't know what happened. You got people snapping and then going on Facebook, recording with the blood on their bodies, talking about, oh, this is your fault. This is your fault. You had the one dude ran into the alphabet community. It was a club, and it was outside the club, and he just ran into the people, and he hit somebody, and he went back home and ran into his mother, because he had an argument with his mother, so he came out the house in a rage, and he was driving down the street, and there was a club, a alphabet club coming out, outside, and he ran into them, and he killed somebody there. Then when he went home, his mom was outside on the phone, and he just ran into her in the car, and he came out of the car and hit her in the head with a hammer, man. Bashed her to death. And then when they arrested him, they was like, why'd you do this? Like, asked him. He was like, I got into a bad argument with my mom. But that's the mindset that people are in right now, man. People are deranged. And that's why the Lord said, man, hey, we gotta be close to the Lord, man, in these times. Because these death angels, these spirits of vengeance, they're out here, left and right. And if the Lord not guiding you, if the Lord don't got the protection on you, then you're susceptible to these things, man. And they'll jump on you, and you'll be like the sons of Siva. You ain't gonna be able to get them off of you, man.
I see that. It's heavy that you mentioned that about how we're always in constant bitterness, because this morning, as I was driving here, the Spirit got on me, and I did a video, and I was going into how, when you think about America is literally the land of bitterness. Just the name America goes to the word America, which means bitter. So when you break it down, it says the United States of America. The united meaning all one, united, making one unity. of the state. When you go to the word state, it goes into what? A condition. So we talk about a condition, a mental or emotional condition of America, bitterness. So you're in constant emotional or mental state of bitterness every day. Whether it's the life you live in, the bills you got to pay, the society in which you're living in, it's literally a concept of a united area where it's always constantly bitterness that you got to go through, and that's why people snap the way they snap.
Yep.
You know, nowhere in this world do you go through the things that Americans go through, man. Constantly behind the eight ball, man, especially if you're Jake. You know, so I was thinking about that, but in the video I went a little bit more into it.
Hey, and that's why America it's been falling for like years, especially as of late. It's been falling from one of the happiest places to live, man. You know, ever since I've been paying attention to it, it's never been in the top 5. You know, I don't even think it might have been in the top 10. It might have been like 9 or 8 or 10 before, but it's never been in the top 5. And a lot of places that are in the top 5 are places that are not as capitalistic minded, man. You know, because that capitalistic mindset that this place drives, it wears you down, man. You know, because that's why the scripture talks about, you know, give me neither riches nor poverty. You know, but just give me the food that's convenient for me. Because when you live in a place, when you find your happy middle ground, you don't got to be worried about I'm trying to gain up, I'm trying to get to another level, I'm trying to get success. That's what really causes people to get to that mindset. It's the envy of other people's prosperity, man. This place is built off of covetousness. You know, I believe the scripture says that in Malachi, woe to you that covets another man's house. You know, this place, advertisement is all built off of trying to be better than the next person. You know, trying to look better than the next man. And that's what? That's one of the 10 commandments, thou shalt not covet. But this place is inverted. So in this world, you're supposed to covet. Oh, I want to be like this person. Oh, I like how this person, you know, looks. You know, I like the Bellagio, the Birkin bags, the Versace that he has. You know, the influencers, they wear this shit. I want to be like that. Oh, and it's all vanity at the end of the day. It's not worth shit, man. Okay, so that's why, hey, being in the truth, you get to. That's why, hey, Yahushua said, don't be like the Gentiles that, you know, basically stress over, you know, food and raiment. Your father knows that you need these things, man. Now, of course, brothers like nice things. If you can afford it, you know, then hey, rock out. But that's not something that we stress over. That's ain't on our forefront. We don't make provisions for the flesh.
And that whole concept of people is fucked up. That whole concept of chasing after, see, that word success is demonic.
All right, bro.
That whole concept of like the people use the word success, right? Success is based off of what your goals is. People just be like, I'm trying to be successful. Nah, if a man just want a wife and a kid and a studio apartment and he get that, that man is successful. If he fall anything short of that, he's unsuccessful. But people got that word success as this big, like having millions and millions of dollars. Success is based upon whatever your goals is. And success is not something you chase after, because we're going to be successful in the kingdom. But success is something you get by becoming a better person. It's something you attract, and that's what people in this world get fucked up. Riches and wealth come to you based off of who you are. You can attract shit to you from becoming a better person. Like if you go to school and you better yourself in this area, people will automatically offer you positions and jobs. Like if you're a nigga in Babylon and you come into a prophet of the Lord will give you the kingdom. It would attract it to you. But in this world, they tell you chase after it, chase after it. If you're chasing after something, obviously it's running. But if you better yourself as an individual, ultimately with the Lord, if you better yourself, you stop being a nigga, you build character in the Lord, you be brotherly, you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, do the works to the best of your ability, keep the prayers and faith up, you're going to change as a person, and all the wicked people are going to leave out of your life, and you're going to attract other individuals too. So the point I'm making is success isn't something. Success isn't a lot of money or just owning mad shit. It's based upon your goals, and being having riches and having nice things is not something you chase after. It's something you attract to you by becoming a person of honor.
Yep. Hey, and that's why Esau's kingdom it can't stand, because he got his success off of deceit and lies. You know, he didn't get it. He didn't gain it righteously. You know, he got it off of injuries. Riches got by deceit. You know, all these things. So he did. It's not really his. You know, he shouldn't really have it. That's why it says that you should gather up. You should swallow down riches, but you should vomit it back up. But for us, like with Solomon, he asked for wisdom, and when you get wisdom, that success or that fame or that money will come to you. To the point where you had people who were rich giving you money based off of the wisdom that you had. You know, and that's what we're going to be in the kingdom, man. That's why it says that our gates shall not be closed day nor night, so that the kings can bring in their wealth, the forces of the Gentiles, because they want to see our wisdom. They want to see our glory. You know how we are. You know the wise sayings that we have, the way that we conduct life, the way that we conduct judgment. You know our fair balance, our equity, and it's going to be attractive to them, to where they're going to be giving us gifts. Like, oh man, can you just give me a nice proverb? You know, Mr. Parables over there. Yo, can you give me a proverb I can bring back? You have the king of some heathen land coming to you. I got these, this gold. Can you tell me a wise saying? You're gonna be like, one fish, two fish. You're like, oh, the water. Thank you. I can't wait to bring this back to the land.
You're gonna see it in the land on banners. One fish, two fish.
One fish, two fish. But nah, that's how much immense wisdom we gonna have, man. And they're just gonna want to sit down and just hear us speak.
Hey, being on the plantation, fucking with the Uber or whatever, I'm kind of like a social person. Sometimes the spirit jump on me to talk, give some type of advice. Nothing too deep going into the word, because the word can be offensive to the average mind. But like, give a little advice on certain things, and when they get out, sometimes they'll drop like a larger tip than average, based upon like what they get out, because it's like, damn, wow, what you told me like really helped me. You know what I mean? So it's like based upon the knowledge, that's the real riches is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh and Yahweh. And that, by having that will attract other carnal shit.
And that's why Yahweh said, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all of its righteousness, and all of these things will be added unto you. So if you don't even gotta seek those other things, man. The Lord said seek one thing. One thing, if you seek after this, you will have everything else. Immortality comes with that. Your perfect relationship. A woman that's that has the same mind as you. Obviously not in this world, but even we get a small bit of that in this world, man. Because a lot of brothers that got women. In order for you to deal with a man and Lord, you got to be a decent woman, man.
Yeah.
And brothers, and we don't go searching, looking after women. Really, you just be you, and they'll come to you, and then really they'll conform unto how your thought patterns are, how you think, and that's automatically going to make them more of a better woman. We make them. They try to say, "Oh, she's my better half." No, we make our women better, man. If you're a real man, if you follow these scriptures, if you follow the ways of the Lord, you make everybody that you come across better, man. And that's the being the light of the world.
I was going to land back off your point, like a real royal mindset, like a king doesn't have to cold approach a woman. His renown goes about, and they desire him just off of who he is.
They flock around you. They just come around.
And that's why the Lord said, you can find that scripture where it says, the dishonor is only the rich man is honored for his riches. I believe it's Ecclesiasticus 25, maybe, or 26. And it says the dishonorable man for his wisdom. Because right now, the thing that makes us honorable is, which is the only thing we really need, what we're talking about is the wisdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And even with that, Paul spoke about we're known, we're unknown, but well known. And we're well known within within the body of Yahweh Shai, within this circle. Okay, and we're even well known to these elites on the left-hand side. Right? But and a lot of people, they come to us in our personal lives, on our comment boards, whatsoever. A lot of brothers and sisters that are listening and watching, they come for us for judgment, man. To ask, like, literally life judgments that they need, they feel like they need, guidance on. And that's the Lord, building us up to be in those that kingly seat. Because he did tell us that we were going to sit upon, well, he told the disciples, the 12 disciples, they want to sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes. But that's also going to be all of the 144,000. That's the governing body of the kingdom. So you got to imagine when you like how with Solomon, with the whole council with the 2 women, they came to Solomon for counsel, and that's the position that the Lord is setting us up to be in. And that even happens even in our day-to-day lives, where people come to us and ask us for decisions and things that we may need that we really never really encountered, but that's to show you how the Lord is preparing us, prepping us for that, man. And that's going to be an everlasting position. That's not, and Esau tries to mimic that in his society, because the Supreme Court, which is a higher judicial branch, those seats are seats for you can retire, but that's a term a lifetime. That's a lifetime seat. You can't be impeached. You can't be taken out of that. And it's not like every 4 years you got it now. Once you get put in that position, you're there until you decide to leave or you die. And that's what it's going to be. Us in the kingdom, the supreme judges, we're going to be in a position that is going to be solidified forever. So that's why, hey, brothers got to be in that mind, that kingly mind state now, man. You got to treat your own life as if you are in a kingly position, a ruling class mentality, man. You can't be making those simple, non-thoughtful decisions, man. Because a king doesn't have that luxury. Okay, which really is not a luxury anyway. It's really, that's only going to lead to some hasty decision or some decision that's going to cause you to be in a worse position when you make decisions that are not thought out. But us as men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we gotta be calculated, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, and just like the elder said, having that rulership mentality, a lot of people they mistake how a king thinks for just like a tyrant. And they'll think, oh, I'm a king. That means that a rulership mentality means whatever I say goes, however I say it, when I say it. But when you actually think about it, a true king is an actual servant. That's why Yahushua said what he said, that the Gentiles are the ones who have, everybody comes and serve him and all that. Yeah, lordships, exercise lordship. But he said, me being the king over you, I serve you. Because the king's decision has to take into consideration the condition of the people. If he just does whatever he wants to do, then the whole kingdom is going to go to ruin.
It's a king without a king.
There ain't no king.
Caligula, they hated his
exactly. Yeah. So if you want to, when you think in your own daily life, you got to think about how your actions affect others as well. How your actions affect the brotherhood, how it affects those that are around you, those that may depend on you. So when you have that rulership mentality, it rules out selfishness. Because you have to now become selfish.
Hey, and even with mentioned Caligula, even with Julius Caesar, he was put to death by his own close entourage, man. And that's ultimately because they were jealous of him. Now, we know jealousy is a trait, a human trait, right? But you can sense that Esau, when he's in a position, he likes to make it known that he's in this position. Even in corporations, how CEOs act, like they have this sense of pompness, haughtiness look to them. So that's why Caesar got put to death by his own entourage, because they were jealous, because he wasn't sharing it with his entourage. Like, if everybody was all good, they would have nothing to be jealous of. If everybody, I take care of y'all just like I take care of myself, how the Lord, how the law is, love thy neighbor as thyself, then if I got it, you got it. That's why with Solomon, Queen of Sheba thought the servant was the king. It's like, yo, this is a servant. I thought you was the king. Like, nah, I just hold the door. But it's like, that's the mentality of a real true king. Like, I'm gonna make sure my door holder is on point, man. I'm gonna make sure everybody's we all look the same. And that's how Jake do sometimes when they get, money, they put everybody on, man. But that's how it is going to be in the kingdom. And that's why there's not going to be none of that animosity, any of that hatred or envy toward each other in the kingdom, because we're all going to be on each other's level. We're all going to be looking out for each other. Even the 2/3 that come in, we ain't going to shit on them. I'm like, you little nigga, flick them a little cord. Nah, man. It's going to be love, and that's what's going to make them even more they said that they're going to loathe themselves in the sight of themselves. I'm like, damn, man. I can't believe I used to persecute y'all. And they see your house, oh man, it's over, man.
Especially
You know?
that body.
Exactly. That we talking about, yep. Got it.
I was thinking about the movie Paid in Full, when the nigga he was bitching and moaning. He was like a lower level drug dealer, and Cameron was like a big time drug dealer.
Yeah.
He came around. He was like, "Yo," he said, "What you bitching about? I'm hearing some shit, whatever." So he's like, "We ain't eating. We ain't eating." He said, Cameron said, "What? Everybody eats. Everybody eats."
Yeah,
He
yeah,
whooped
yeah.
his ass, whatever, and sent him back to work.
Yep, and that's what jealousy, man. You know, but the scripture tells you, that brother had posted a good scripture, I'll read it. Proverbs chapter 23, Proverbs chapter 23, verse 17, it says, "Let not thy heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long. For surely there is an end, and thine expectation shall not be cut off."
Right.
You know, read it back to what we read in Jeremiah 29. The expected end, man. The Lord's expected end for us is peace, unity amongst the nation, man. And once we're on that level, hey, that's an ironclad, man. You can't break that. That's why he's restoring the house of David as in the days of old. Because they were on and David, if there was any weak link, anybody, David handled that, man. He told his son, yo, this is how you gotta handle it. And because this is how I handled it, so there's certain people that you gotta get rid of because they're gonna mess up the flow of things, man. And that's just how it is. That's why everybody on this go around not gonna make it, because they'll mess it up. If you brought a nigga into the kingdom and they wasn't in the mind of Yahweh Shai, man, that one nigga will be that one bad apple spoiled a bunch. That's what would happen, man. That's why, hey, you got to be in the mind of Yahweh Shai in order to get translated, man. And even that, because we in these vile bodies, the Lord got to literally change our minds, put his laws, statutes, and commandments in us, because we have the spirit, the desire to do it, but we still under these fleshly bodies. So we can still be susceptible to going off, being subject to vanity. Or it's Romans 8 chapter, being subject to vanity. Because that's what we are. We're subject to vanity, man. We know this shit is vain, but it's vile body, so we get subject to it every now and then. But that's what the Lord is so merciful that he's gonna, I'm not even gonna make you subject to that no more. You want it, I'm gonna give it to you. What happened? Yep. Like, who really desires to be perfect, man? Like, that's only us. Like, we're the only ones that I want to be perfect. That's talking about like being able to perfect a trade. I want to be the trade that's perfect in the eyes of the Lord, man. And people don't have that mindset. They are, man, I'm just like, hey, God's good with me doing X, Y, and Z. I think I'm good. I was thinking about this the other day, man. Jake loved to say, I don't fear nothing but God. That's the opposite, man. Because you're doing all this wickedness. Everything the Lord said don't do, you do. But here it is, you say, I fear nothing but God. No, you fear everything except God, man. You fear everything except God, which is why a lot of these celebrities, they push that wicked vibration because they want to maintain their status. They fear not being in that status. They fear not having that money. They fear not having that fame. So they do all these things, but then they come out and say, I fear nothing but God. If you really fear God, what does the scripture say? Fear God and keep his commandments. So we are really the only ones that say we fear nothing but God, man. Because we'll do this even up until the death. We'll serve the Lord in the face of death, man. Just like how Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said. That we're not careful to answer you according to this. You guys still got that? Yeah. Yeah, we can read that and I'm going to got precept. Oh, yeah, we got to tie that to that.
Quick precept if I could.
Yeah.
Matthew 5:48. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
Yep. Hey, we go to that word there. It means complete. Being whole, being sound. All right, and this is how we are being complete and being whole and being sound. Because even though we know that, as Yahweh Shai said, the flesh is weak, but in our minds we're sound in like our spirits, where we want to always do what is right in the eyes of the Lord. That's being sound. We never had the mindset of, I kind of don't want to do what's right. If you ever game that's a demon, man. Yeah. And if you let that demon fester, then it's going to you actually want to act on it. And then that's when you get, judged. That's why the Lord said that your righteousness got to exceed the righteousness of the Pharisees. Your mind got to be perfect. You may not be able to be perfect. We always use the example of like, turning a fire on, on a Sabbath, just as a small example. But you don't purposely want to do that. You know what? I know we say not to, but I'm going to do it anyway. No, it's like, oh, Salaki, because I'm subject to vanity. This was vain that I did that, but I'm subject to it, and I'm sorrowful for it. But that's a perfect mindset to have. That's why King David was a man after the Most High's heart. Even though he went off, in the Most High's mind, King David was still a perfect man. And that's why he said he's going to give him the sure mercies.
Back in Daniel 3:16, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our power, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
So they were in captivity saying this, man. Now, I'm trying to, we always talk about like trying to put yourself in a position. I don't know if they've seen any miracle, in their lifetime, if they seen something miraculous that happened that made them, like, gave them reassurance that God can, the Most High can do this. But just a simple fact that was a fake thing. Now, they never seen that. Whether or not they did see it or didn't see it, they didn't know when they saw it that the Most High was going to do it. They had faith that he would do it. And they were in captivity underneath their enemies, believing that, hey, the Lord put us in this, we know that the Lord put us in this position, that you got the upper hand. But we still believe that in this position, the Lord can deliver us from you. He can give us, he can have a miracle, a supernatural event happen that we won't have to suffer this fate that you're saying that we're going to suffer. And I'm sure that wasn't the first time King Nebuchadnezzar threw somebody in a fiery furnace. That's why he has it. I'm sure he used it before. That's why they knew what to do, how to turn it up and all that. So they've heard of people, they probably heard the screams of other slaves, could have been other Israelites that were wicked, that, that got punished for whatever. But their mind, they believe that the Lord can intervene on a divine level that they may have never seen before. And that's the position that we are in, and that's the mindset that you got to be in. That we read it, so they know the scrolls, they heard of, just like how we read of what happened during the time of Moses and during the time of Jericho. So they had that understanding, but they maybe not have ever seen it take place in their own lifetime, but they believed it, and guess what happened? Now that we're reading of their story now it's written of what the Lord did for them. And now that is written aforetime, written for our learning today. And the things that we're going to go through is going to be written about in the kingdom. It's going to be like, yo, you remember when, read the story of, Zion, he was out here, and then somebody tried to son, and the angel came. It was you. It was Michael. Yeah, he came and did that. That's going to be our story. That's hey, the story is not finished being written yet, man. And it's still being recorded. We're a part of the story, man. We're a part of it, man. And that's the beauty of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Because it's the circle, it's the same spirits that's coming back, that's different generations. That's why in Ecclesiasticus, it said, let us praise men, great men in their generation. Moses got praised in his generation, Joshua in his generation, etc., etc. Well, Lord willing, this is it. We're going to, Lord willing, be those men that get praised in our generation. Ezekiel, Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter. I should give you praise and fame in every land that you've been put to shame. In every captivity, certain men of the Lord got praised. The Egyptian captivity, the Babylonians, you have great men that got praised. The Persian and Medes, the Greek Empire, you have men that were the Maccabees. They were praised in that. The Romans, the disciples, the apostles. So this is a land that we got put to shame in, Babylon, this age. So we got to also get the fame in this land as well. Want to say something, bro?
Oh, no, I was going to say, because you was mentioning when they giving them praise, it's going to be different because it's going to be living legends. So the people that you're talking about will actually be present there and live in the flesh. Well, in the heavenly body.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No one's going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it ain't going to be something that's like written. Like, nah, you going to see us. you going to see us in front of you, Lord willing, we those men, but we speak with that confidence and boldly by saying you're going to see those living, like the brother said, those living legends, those superheroes that is being talked about, man, that's being written about. And first and foremost, of course, Yahweh Shai, man.
Hey, Zion one is a monument. So that's like a walking, living, breathing monument of remembrance of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua's power, strength, and salvation for his people. That's what the elect's going to be in the kitchen. Sanctifying, right?
There's a little more on that?
Yeah. Daniel 3:19. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
So he went from trying to cut a deal with him, you know, try to use those smooth words, to then his visage changed, and then he's like, man, fuck y'all, just like with Antiochus with the 7 brothers, man. And you try to be all nice and smooth with the last one, and then because he didn't bow the knee, he got even more mad. He did even worse to the last brother, man. And that's how this devil works. That's why it says never trust my king. As rust iron, so does his wickedness. He's only going to get more wicked. As time goes on, shit's only going to get worse and worse. Esau's only going to come down with more wrath. He ain't going to let it up. He's coming to his end. Why the hell he's going to let it up? It's like a light bulb. They say a light bulb, or even like they call it dying star, which we don't believe in that shit. But like a light bulb, right before it pops, it's a bright light that happens. It don't dim out. It pops and then it goes out. That's how this devil is, man. He's about to go real hard for a really short time, but then it's over. But then he's going to be chased out of the world. And that's why you just got to endure this last straight gate, man. The hour of temptation.
Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated.
He wanted to bring extra fire, extra heat. That's that. Hey, and Nebuchadnezzar didn't even got perpetual hatred.
Right.
He just was angry. But Esau is instilled with a perpetual hatred towards Jacob, man. So how much more you think he gonna try to do? That's why he got all these robotic dogs and this bio warfare and chemical war, all these things, man. Esau trying to come out with everything in his dispensary, his arsenal. But that's good, because that's what the Lord wants. He wants you to give it your best. Here's your best is not even going to do anything, man. But I'm going to let you do your best so that the world knows, the earth, the heathens know that my people are my chosen, man. That I am the power, man. They said that you should be sanctified in the sight of many nations. And Esau right now, he's on a heightened level where nobody, they wanted after the beast who could make war with the beast. So he's in a position where nobody thinks, Esau think he can fight against real live aliens. If there were so-called aliens, not real life, but if there were so-called aliens, Esau really think, we got smoke for them. That's how prideful he is. Like, we got smoke for any and everybody. We got smoke for the Lord. Like, when Yahweh Shai, he's gonna really try to fight against the Most High. That's how prideful the devil is. But the Lord put him on that level just so he can show his power, man. That my power is so far immense over yours. Like, this shit's they gonna realize that these nations gonna realize we could never get to a status of Esau. Look how that he got killed. And that's why they ain't gonna learn war no more. Like, we could never get to the technology and the power of this devil. Look what the Lord did to them. We ain't gonna fuck with you. We're just gonna serve y'all. And they gonna be willing. And then the day of our power. Because what happens with powers is, man, you're gonna succumb to power. Enough power gets put on you, you're gonna succumb to it. Except for the elect. Except for the elect. But anybody, these people in this world, if you get pressure with enough power, you're gonna fold. And that's the beauty about power. I remember Elder Gabar said it, man, the joy of life is having power. If you don't got no power, you ain't shit.
Respect you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what did Scarface say? What's the first thing you get? First you get the he said the money. And then because in this world, God is money. So he's really saying, what is God? God means power. So really first you get the power first. And then you get then he said, then you get the power, then after the power, the fame. But it starts with power, man. That's why the Lord said, he that overcometh to keep my works to the end shall I give him power over the nations.
Yep, since you said about all the nations going to see it, I'll just read Romans chapter 14, verse 11. For it is written, as I live, saith the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, every tongue shall confess to Yahweh.
Yep. Hey. He said every knee shall, and we're the ones that are rolling out the red carpet for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. So we rolling out the red carpet. Hey, we looking at how they get on the carpet too. Hey, you can walk down the aisle as well. Them let me get my fine garments, man. You know, but I finished that, and then I know you got 36, and then Hebrews 11, and then I'll pass it.
Quick thing I was gonna say too is, it's like in the comics, Silver Surfer is the herald of Galactus. So when Galactus comes, it's like Yahushua. He had to send the Silver Surfer too to let the world know what's about to pop. Like Galactus about to jack
Hey,
it
Silver
up.
Surfer caught hell, man.
Yeah.
They took his board, they had him fucking up in the, you know, they were trying to dissect him and all that shit. But he served, and then he had to fuck it up in there. I want to save the world. But he served Galactus, man.
Right.
Like, yo, I gotta just do all this because this is what my master's telling me to do. Yeah, but this is how we are, man. We gotta suffer for righteousness' sake, for the Lord's sake, if so that we can be glorified with Him. And that's a belief. Once again, in that faith, that came from the spirit world, and therefore you can't take that away from us. That's why the Lord said, hold fast, because if you let it go, that's on you. But nobody can take this from you, because I gave it to you. Mm-hmm. So none of the stuff that you go through, persecution, distress, anguish, none of those things can take that from you. It's if you get slothful, if you don't believe in it.
Back in Daniel 3:20, and he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Hey, and that's what Esau is willing to do. See, that's how Nebuchadnezzar was so mad that his order actually was killing some of his own people, man, his own servants. And Esau's going to do the same thing. That's the whole thing with the MAGA. Like, Esau wants to come after us, but he's such a devil. He has to keep us into with everybody. So you're going to have a lot of Edomites that's going to get collateral damage with them trying to come after the men of the Lord. Them creating all these different censorships and all these different laws and outlaws and all these things, that's affected everybody else too. Okay, the political debate, the debacle that's happening, where we got to take care of these extreme right wing people because they're speaking against democracy. All that talk, that's really Esau wanting to come after us, but they're grouping everybody into that shit. And that's going to cause uprisings on their part, on these other people, because you trying to come after us, but you're trying to do a sweep, and you're sweeping up everybody else in the midst of that, man. But you're not going to get us. And even if you do get us, we're reading that the Lord can intervene, man. So you do all that, cause all this hell and chaos trying to kill us to your own kingdom, and we still get delivered from it. You still lose at the end of the day, and you cause more destruction to your own shit. The best thing you could have done is just let us be. Yeah. But you can't do that. All we out here is just teaching, uploading it. If we crazy, just let us be. But no, you got to send vocab Malone. You got to do all these extra censorships and outlaw this and change that law rhetoric to that. And all that is doing is just causing more distress, more downfall to your own shit, man. If you wanted to continue your kingdom, the blueprint is let us be, but you can't because you're operating off of what we say, man. Right. We're like the Lord has us. We're the Lord's puppets, but our mouths is the Lord's mouth. So we're telling you to do something, or you're going to do something, and you can't help but to do it. So the more we talk about the Quran, the more we talk about these things, it's like fuck it. It's like no, I gotta. It's like somebody's like controlling you and shit. Bring out the Quran. No.
Real quick too, it's funny because like it shows you the levels of power. Because here it is that we're the servants of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and you got Esau using Biden to come out and threaten people, saying if you want to fight against the American government, you need F-15s. You can't come against us with guns. Right. And we here saying, well, if you want to come against the men of the Lord, you need chariots. You need Archangel Michael to be fighting on your behalf. You don't have that. We have that. And you're the same people that came out and said that the technology that the so-called UFOs have is 100 to 1,000 years way more advanced than anything you guys have. So F-15, what's that going to do? It's not going to do nothing. Right. You see, so at the end of the day, you still lose, man. You know?
At the end of the day, that's why the scripture said you can't do nothing against the truth, only for the truth, man. The more we speak, the more you speak, you march to our drum. You know, just like how Nebuchadnezzar said, when you hear the sound of the trumpet, when you hear the sound, we're the trumpet. When we speak, you do stuff, and that's the power. That's literally. I did a video a couple days ago that the Lord has given us power to speak things into existence, man. That's why. Why do you think the charagma is so prevalent right now? It's because we're speaking about it so much. The Spirit, the Lord has put it on our spirits to speak about it, and the more we speak, the Lord power will do nothing, but He revealeth His secrets until He serves the prophet. All right, He won't do anything until the prophets speak it. And that's power right there, man. That's real. James talked about the power of the tongue. That's why he wants to shut us up. He's like, yo, the more you keep talking, you keep, huh? Yeah. Right.
Daniel 3 and 23. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of God.
Yeah. So the 4th one look like an angel, man. Which Yahweh Shai is the top angel, and he's the Son of God. He was like, yo, there's 4 of them in there. And why are they walking around? Oh yeah, with no hurt, man. They said like the clothes didn't even get like a scorch. You even smell the smoke on them. Like, yo, what the? And that's an amazing, like, yo, for real. Imagine you a king, and you're like, yo, I'm about to kill these niggas. That's an everyday thing, everyday occurrence to you. There's more than some more niggas more killed. Now, what the hell? You can't explain that. Like, I see the fire. Like, I see the fire there. Fire plus organic material equals melt. Like, you should be dead. Why are you not then? Who is this other person? Like, that's the power of the Lord, man. And that was the Lord said it's a light thing. That's a light thing. I'm gonna send my son just to be in the midst of them and have that happen, man. Hey, that's how bad even Yahweh Shai is. Like, yo, Yahweh Shai just popped up on the scene real quick, just right there. And just to show that even in Babylon, like the Lord, for our learning, even in Babylon, because that's a whole situation. You could liken that to the image of the beast that we're talking about right now. It's the same. They don't say that it wasn't the beast, but it was the statue, but they used the image. They used all these different things, Babylon. So in today, Yahweh Shai is going to be there right when they're just saying in the churches, he may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. Right when you don't think, but you keep the faith like how they did, right when you need him, that's when the Lord gonna pop up, right in the fire. And you gotta keep the faith all the way up into that. Because they could have been like, they could have said what they said to Nebuchadnezzar at first, but then when they was walking toward the furnace, they go, nah, we was joking. We was just joking. But they was like, nah, yo, we gonna die, let's go, man. Gird up your loins, you gonna take a man from you. And that, Lord loves that, man. The Lord loves that. That's why he said to Joshua, be of good courage. When you show the Lord, when you are courageous in the sight of an enemy because of the Lord like, oh, it's like your girl. If mad niggas trying to holler at your girl, and your girl like, nah, like, I'm my man, like, yo, that's my baby. Like, you put her in that position, like, yo, you look over there, let's see what you doing. You look from an angle, like, oh, what she doing? She flirting with them? Nope. I'm just waiting for. Yes, man. You come up here. Oh, y'all watch out, man. Yo, buy her man shot. Get her a drink. That's how you treat her, man. You love that even more. That's how the Lord looking at us. You know, in the midst of all these wolves being afraid, in the midst of all these different idols trying to bewitch us, we ain't dealing with that, man. That's why I said that they followed the Lamb, whithersoever he goeth, and they were not defiled with women. You know, they were pure, man. They were virgins, and they're not embedded to a man than a pure virgin.
I was gonna say real quick that spiritual how they refused to bow down to the image, and they were delivered from the midst of the fire by Yahweh Shai. You know, like how he's gonna do it for us this time.
I said that they'll get they got power over the beast and the image.
Yep.
And standing on the
seal glass. And when you read in the Apocrypha, in the
what is it, the song of the three holy children. Oh, you got it? They actually go into detail how they were rejoicing, praising the Lord in the fire, and how basically it was like
circles.
Yeah, and there was no
camped around them. Now you can pull it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it real quick. That's the spirit. The song of the three holy children, verse 26. But the angel of the Lord came down into the oven together with Azarias and his fellows, and smote the flame of the fire.
You can start at like 7 or 8 where it says a lawless nation, and then jump down there.
Okay.
Because it just sets the precedence, man. Because that's the hands that we're in right now. We're in the hands of a lawless king. I think it says lawless king.
Yeah, I got
Wicked in all the world.
Yeah.
That's around 6 or
6,
8.
yeah, around there.
I'll start at 8. I'll start at 7. In all things have we trespassed and not obeyed thy commandments, nor kept them.
Hey, yep. And that's what Micah talked about. We have to bear the indignation, man, because we sinned against our power. You know, the first part of repentance is acknowledging that you have sinned. Right? And when you acknowledge that, that's basically you taking off of that pride, man. Because a lot of people, they have that mindset, I ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm good. You know, I don't have a problem. I don't need to repent. That's prideful. Because we all sin, man. So when you come to the Lord with that contrite and broken spirit, when you realize and you recognize how wicked you have been living, that removes, and you feel sorry for that removes that callous of pride. And then now you just in supplication mode. Now you in like, I need mercy mode. And you can't, mercy and pride don't mix. You can't look for mercy and be prideful at the same time. And when you're prideful, you're not looking for mercy. And that's why Esau can't get it, won't get it, because he's prideful.
Maybe like I didn't.
And then the pride, see the thing is, pain destroys the callous of pride. When you are in pain, that's when that's why you don't really see a lot of sick people in prideful, man. A lot of people that got terminal illness, they're in that little feeble, like, oh, you know, you just got older people. Older you get, the closer you know, you realize you get into death. So a lot of old people, we do got some old people that are just like, girl, just mean and evil. But you got some old people that are just like mad, just happy, like, oh, you know, you just gotta enjoy life. Every precious moment counts. Like that type of mentality, because it's like, yeah, you know you're on your way out. Your body is not acting the same. Your mind is still there, right? If you're still in that same mindset, if your spirit don't get old, your body gets old. So when you're in that mindset, but now you realize that your knees don't work, probably can't walk up the stairs, you need somebody to change you. You can't be prideful in that moment. Yeah, yep. You can't be prideful. Antiochus is the best, the perfect example of that shit. That's where he said that the judgment of the Most High was not far behind thee, man. And that's to you devils, man. The judgment of the Lord is not far, it's on your ass, man. It's on your, and you know it. Like, you're trying to run from it, man. But everywhere you go, you see the chariots, you see the men of the Lord, you seeing all chaos, hell breaking, these prophecies being unfolded, the Lord's men prophesying against you, telling you why all these things are happening. You getting visions, dreams. It tells you that in Ecclesiastes, the 40th chapter or 41st chapter, that they're getting plagued with dreams, man, of their end. That's a crazy thing. You getting hit with nightmares of just being in captivity. Imagine we see a vision of the kingdom of us being in peace, and like you don't want to wake up from that. You just be mad and like overwhelming. Now imagine that on the opposite side. They just seeing visions of them in captivity, just getting beat, and just feeling the pain. Like, just waking up and hot and fucking cold sweats and shit, man. Everything there 1,000 years just yo, shit. Because I know how I'll be feeling when I get dreams of being in the kingdom, you get spiritual power. Just imagine them just being in a decrepit, being in a mud pit, just worms all over you and shit.
This is the book of Psalm chapter 140, verse 8. It says, grant not, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the desires of the wicked, further not his wicked device, lest they exalt themselves, Selah.
Yep.
Pride. Yeah, so that pride that Esau has, we're praying that they don't get that wicked device, because ultimately, if they're able to get that so-called new order off the ground, guess what they're going to do? They're going to speak against the Most High even more. You see, they're doing it now. They're building a foundation and cursing the Most High. See, so when they get that, if they were to get to that point, what would they be doing? You know what I'm saying? Going back to that point you made about 1,000 years, imagine just thinking about, yo, we're going to be just the first 1,000 years of glory. That alone is crazy. But how much more if you're an Edomite, 1,000 years of torture? Like,
like just the opposite alone is like, what the like, yo.
And
that's crazy, man.
the scripture says, in the day of affliction, thou remembers not prosperity.
Yep.
So you're just gonna only know, you're only gonna feel pain, man. That's all you're gonna. That's the only thing that you're just gonna be surrounded by you. Like you don't get any Sabbath rest. You don't get no. Your day of rest won't even be really rest for you.
Yeah.
Like, imagine just getting beat up for 7 days straight, 6 days straight. That's 7 days. It's like you still gonna feel the pain. It's like working out. You feel the pain of working out like the next day. Then you gonna feel the pain the next day on the Sabbath day. So you gonna be hoping for long days, man. Nope, them days gonna be short for you.
Right. Back in the Song of the Three Holy Children, again, verse 7, in all things have we trespassed and not obeyed thy commandments, nor kept them, neither done as thou hast commanded us, that it might go well with us. Wherefore, all that thou hast brought upon us, and everything that thou hast done to us, thou hast done in true judgment.
And judgment, man. Hey, that's why the scripture tells you that the just Lord is in the midst, he will not do iniquity. All right, that's why, hey, you gotta just, you can't even say, like, you gotta just let it be because it's gonna be regardless, but that will be done. You know, the Lord's will be done, man. Because it's all the Lord's will is true in his judgment and his equity, man. His ways are equal. Go ahead.
And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of God, and to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world.
And the most wicked of all the world, man. And it's interesting that this is speaking about the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar, but this is called Babylon the Great. Right. So if he was the most wicked in that time, and this is called the Great, that's how you know that Esau was surpassed all of the wicked, man. Even tenfold, 100-fold. And he is called the man of sin. The man of sin being revealed. And when you go into the NLT, it says the man of lawlessness. And everything that, and when you go lawless, they're like, you'll be like, oh, well, there's laws here. It's talking about the Most High's laws, man. Because those are the Most High's laws are really the laws of the earth. They're supposed to be a law of the earth. They ain't supposed to be your laws here and the Japanese laws. No, it's a law that's supposed to govern the entire earth. One law, man. And that's, huh? Yeah, the universe. Yeah, the universe. Huh? Yeah. Right, exactly. And that's why our kingdom is going to be a world without end, because our kingdom is going to establish the laws of the Lord, man. The laws that are supposed to govern the entire earth. And that's why all nations are going to flow into us. There ain't going to be no constitutions or amendments or Chinese bill, Moab. Nah, all of your shits, all of your laws are going to have to be, it's going to be our laws. So you won't be able to eat pork. You won't be able to do those things, but you still going to want to do it. But if you break our law, it don't matter where you at. There ain't no sovereign land of Syria or Morocco, none of that, man. All y'all shit is our shit, including y'all. So you break our laws, you breaking the Creator's laws.
Quick point. The Lord said the law is the duty of man.
Yep, straight up. Hey, that's gonna be our job, man. Our job's literally, we're going to be judges, enforcers of the law. Now, Wisdom of Solomon, 3rd chapter, I believe it says that they shall judge the nations. Something to that effect. You know, that's going to be the position of an elect of the Lord, man. To go around and to establish law. That's
Regulate.
dope, right? Yeah, that's dope. And it's not something like we gotta, because lawyers still gotta study. They gotta go back to try to read the law. Hey, it's gonna be in us, man. It's gonna be like walking. Like, oh no, that's wrong. Nope, you're wrong. Nope, judgment.
And that's where they get lawyer from, because Levi dealt with the law. And when you say Levi in Hebrew is lawyer, and that's what Esau called his people that deal with their laws lawyer, with an ER based off of the Hebrew word of lawyer, and because they dealt with the services and everything. But now we a nation of priests under the second covenant. We all, like Levites, able to deal with the law. But that's just for a heads up, an analogy to, that's where they get that term today, lawyer, from the Hebrew word lawyer with a Y.
I'm going to jump back down to 26 where you were at. The Song of the Three Holy Children, verse 26. But But the angel of the Lord came down into the oven together with Azarias and his fellows, and smote the flame of fire out of the oven, and made the midst of the fire as it had been a moist whistling wind.
He changed the fire to a wind, man. A moist wind. It's cool. What happened?
Something like we feeling that.
Yeah. It's a little breezy. That's that, man. The Lord changed the death sentence to a resort.
Yeah.
Low key. You're in a chronic chamber, like, it's no good here. Hey, no, we gonna stay here a little bit. Hey, don't mind us. We gonna stay here. You gotta act like it's burning. Like, it hurts. Now you know it ain't really hurting.
Imagine that. This is blazing fire, and then in the midst you see like a bubble of protection that's just spreading. Like, imagine actually witnessing that. That's just...
Hey, Daniel the 12th chapter said what the Michael the great prince is going to stand for the children of our people, man. Like, these things are going to happen, man. And that's why we get excited when we see more and more of like the charisma and more of these things like pestilence. Because it's like, yo, the more the left hand goes up, that means the Lord got to bring up the right hand. The more of these plagues and all of this, tribulation happening means that the Lord's going to have to intervene to balance it out. Because if he's not going to suffer us to just be in this hell for just dealing with it on a regular tip. We won't be able to. That's why he said that no flesh will be able to, no flesh will be saved. But he has to cause the hell to increase so that the success or the deliverance can increase. Right. It has to match. Because deliverance, remember, it says it's going to be a strangeness of our salvation. It's going to be a time like never before. So if the deliverance, the Lord not going to do nothing like a crazy miraculous event just for, a brother inflation for 10% inflation. Like, I could have just went to my bank. I got my I got to put you in a position that you ain't gonna be able to get out of. Right. I got to put you in an impossible that people gonna think is impossible. But to me, hey, this is easy. But y'all gonna be astounded by what I do, just like that.
Back to 27. It made the midst of the fire as it had been a moist whistling wind, so that the fire touched them not at all, neither hurt nor troubled them. Then the three as out of one mouth praised, glorified, and blessed Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in the furnace, saying, Blessed art thou, O Lord God of our fathers, and to be praised and exalted above all forever.
And it always goes back to what? The glorifying of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's why this whole thing is happening, man. And that goes back to what one of the first scripture you read in Ecclesiastes, remember thou the creator in thy youth. Because we're the ones that's praising the Lord now before all these things come. And then when it happens, it's going to be even more glory that we're going to get, that the Lord's going to get. He's going to give the glory. He's going to give these things, this power, these wonders to the ones who were already praising him. Not to the ones who didn't praise him. He's going to give it to ones that were already praising him. Because they're the ones that he knows that they're going to praise me regardless. They're going to praise me in the low, they're going to praise me in the high, they're going to praise me in the good, they're going to praise me in the bad. Exactly. Yep.
Now back at Daniel 3 and 26, just finishing that out. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors being gathered together, saw these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power.
Hey, same thing is said in Revelation, that the second death, these are the ones who, give me that? Yep. The same thing, man. Mm-hmm.
Nor was an hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
So it showed that that they wasn't even in any, they wasn't even close to danger, man. They didn't even smell like danger was near. That's why in Psalms it says 1,000 shall fall at thy right hand and 10,000 at thy left, but it shall not come nigh thy dwelling. So you can be around danger, but you can feel like you're not around danger at the same time. That's how bad. That's how much the Lord's gonna have to protect. You got an angel walking with you. I'll go to west side of Chicago, in the middle of like how Tekashi 6ix9ine tried to do. Where he hopped out like in the middle of the night, like, yo, where y'all at? I said y'all was around here, but then right when he's done, he hopped in the car and dipped out. Like, you got an angel with you, yo, you won't go, man. We can go anywhere, man. Because that sense of danger won't be there no more. You won't feel that. So you'll feel like literally invincible. And that's how the Lord's gonna have his elect men, man. That's why he said at destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh. Those ain't laughing matters, but the position that you're in is going to be so comfortable and so good that you're going to be able to rejoice in a position of danger, man. And that's a mercy, and that's a mercy enduring forever right there. There's a little bit more.
Yeah, a couple more, yeah. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, "Blessed be the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego."
Oh, Salakia, you got Revelation, right? Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 20, and verse 6. It says, "Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection." Let me read that again. Revelation, chapter 20, verse 6. "Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection."
And it said, "Blessed and holy." Hey, Scripture tells you about blessed is the man who iniquity is not imputed on him. And it said, "What? Be ye holy, for thy Father is holy." So it's holy meaning separate. This is what it takes in order to get this reward right here, man. You gotta have the forgiveness which comes through Yahweh Shai, which we in Bible study yesterday, speaking of what the atonement. That's why in Revelation the 12th chapter it said what? They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. The blood of the Lamb is the faith, and our word is the works. Our word of our testimony, and that our word makes us separate. It separates us. Go ahead.
It says, "On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of the Most High and of Hamashiach, and shall reign with him 1,000 years."
It said the second death has no power, because the second death is going to be on the earth, and is going to whoever doesn't have whoever's left in Babylon and they didn't get delivered, and they the other parts of the earth, whoever took them the MOTB, that second death is going to have power over them. But we're going to get power over the second death. It's like the first death. Only 8 souls have power over the first death. Everybody else, that first death devoured it, and nobody survived it. But through the ones the elect that were separated, the ones that were blessed, that whose sins were not imputed unto them, who had the righteousness of Abraham, the faith of Abraham, they get exempt, the thawab, from the second death. And that's what we are searching for. That's what we are giving diligence for, man. That's why we have had this our lives. That's why we come out here and serve the Lord, so that we can get power over. You can't give yourself power over the second death. But Esau, he want to try, and that's not really needing to have power over the second death. You went into the bunkers. That's you really going into your first. You going into first fruits of slavery, man. You probably gonna wish that you actually died in the second death, but you get reserved. No. We got something much better for you. Like, you're not even worth. Your wickedness can't even just be resolved in the second death. Like, that's how wicked you are. Like, the second death can't even resolve your wickedness. You gotta go now. You gotta come with us. We got something special. When like evil geniuses or the antagonists don't know, we got something special to do. Right? Like, I've been saving this for fucking tools. I've been saving this for a special occasion. Yeah, be mad excited. I've been saving. Put the gloves on. I've been saving this for a special occasion, just for you. Sharpening it.
Opening the pages that nobody's ever opened before. Yeah, these judgments.
These judgments. These have not been seen or written or heard for in all the earth. Yep. You gonna be wishing that you was burnt up, man. Oh yeah. And we gonna know it is, but it's gonna be something. Scripture say, yeah, we gonna meditate terror, man. Meditate terror on your ass. Because it says, what's that in Jeremiah? Oh, give me that, not Jeremiah, Isaiah, where it says after many days thou shalt be visited. You know, those many days we won't be in you know, getting the coronation of Yahweh Shai, you know, celebrating, drinking that new wine, while we gotta let the indignation of the Lord pass over. But after those many days, Esau gonna probably think, oh, they done left. They're not coming back. They got beamed up. They we gonna try to come up out of our bunkers, try to reestablish. But like, nah. We just waiting for you. I think it's 26, 24 and 26. Yep. Yeah, you got it.
God, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 22. It says, and they shall, matter of fact, I'll actually start up at 21. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth.
Yep. Hey, that's when you read it shall come to pass. It's always what in a future sense, man. It shall happen in the future. Okay, that the Lord said He's gonna punish the host of the high ones that are on high, man. That's speaking synonymously with the rulers of the darkness of this world. They're gonna get punished. You're not gonna get exempt. You're the main ones, man. You're the main ones. Go ahead.
Verse 22. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit,
Yep.
and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited.
Hey, King David spoke about they're binding their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. All right, that's the patience and the faith of the saints, man, to execute the judgment written. And when it's written, that's signed and sealed, man. Like you got the king's seal. Well, this is the Lord's king. The Lord is the king, and He sealed these books, man. He sealed it. So you can't alter it. You can't change it. The judgment is set, man. And that judgment is what? To execute the bind your kings in chains and your nobles in fetters of iron. Hey, you did it to us. Daniel tell us what? Tell our kings as they went to captivity, our princes. You know? So you don't get off scot-free, man. That's it on that?
Couple
That was it
more.
on that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Is that after many days they should be visited? Is that that? Yeah.
This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 22. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited.
Yep. Hey, your bunkers is going to be likened into a prison this week, man. Because you ain't going to be able to come out of that. But like, when you come out of that, you're not going to come out to something that's going to be beneficial. You're only going to come out into an even bigger prison. And you thinking that those bunkers and that's going to be your actual a way to escape something. But really, that's going to be the way that you get trapped, man. You're going to be trapped there. Because as soon as you're not even going to come out. We're going to go and get your ass, man. We're going to come and get you. The scripture says you that, Amos 9. Yeah, go ahead.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 9, start off at 1. It says, I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and He said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them.
And imagine you trying to escape something, but you're not being delivered from it, man. Because you escape something to try to be delivered. So wherever you run, wherever you try to go to, you're not going to find deliverance. You're not going to find any sense of like, oh, I finally got away. Nowhere you go, man.
It says, though they dig into hell, then shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down.
Yep. Yeah, your SpaceX. Your what is the other one? The blue. What is it called? Blue Star or something like that. Oh, Blue Origin, the water. You know? What happened? Oh, yep. Those bunkers. So they already, and who has those? They say that those are the super rich. They call them the uber wealthy. The uber wealthy, those are the ones that, these regular people, they don't got that, but they're the submarines. But they will tell you, he'll tell these regular peons, oh, go to the fallout shelter. Knowing them damn well those shits ain't gonna do shit for you in that day, man. Y'all just all gonna just die there together. They just get burned up there together. But you see, but the scripture tells you that way. We're gonna have slaves. So Who will be, what better than to have the elites of this world be our first crops of slaves, man? That's a perfect way to end this story on this side, man. Perfect way to end it. Yep, in the beginning next. And the Lord said it. They that are last shall be first, and they that are first shall be last. You are the first of this. Well, you're gonna be the last in the last level of people in the kingdom, which will be the first slaves. Yep. Hey, we're the first of the kingdom and of heaven, but here we're the last in this earth. We're gonna trade in the places, man.
Verse 3, it says, "And though they hide themselves on the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. And though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it shall slay them, and I will set mine eye upon them for evil and not for good." So yeah, they got the Cheyenne Mountains, Mount Weather, all these different so-called underground bunkers. The Lord said, what? When the time comes, even when you hide it in there, after all this is said and done, you still gonna come down there and come get you niggas.
They showed you that in the movie The 100. Remember the mountain people?
Yeah.
They were like, they had the science, they had a better technology. Not better technology. Yeah. They had a better system set up over there in the mountains. And that's how these devils are, man. They got those, they done carved out mountains to where they have societies, in these mountains. What was it? Oh, cities, yep. Underground cities and shit like that.
They got the yachts that transfer into submarines.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like $100 billion dollar type. Not the yachts, rappers. They got shit that break down on some transformer shit and can go like underwater. Like Marvel.
Oh yeah, hey, like even in the movie 2012, that big ass art shit. They definitely have some shit like that.
Isaiah, I read that in Romans 11.
Romans 11, yeah.
And also Sirach 36.
Yes, right.
You want that first or?
Romans.
Yeah, that's not.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse. Go right to the point at 7, or go up a bit.
Start from
Kill that prophet. I'm the only one left.
Yeah. Start where you ended. You know where you ended?
Yeah. Yep. This is Romans chapter 11, verse 4. "But what saith the answer of God unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Even so then, at this present time also, there is a remnant according to the election of grace."
There's always been a remnant, man. Because even back then, the Lord told Elijah that he had 7,000. And we read that the Lord is not a man that can change. So he's always going to have a remnant in every generation. And this is the last generation. So there's going to be a remnant that is not going to bow the knee. There's going to be a remnant that is not going to fall to the coercion and the pressure of the devil and his system, man. While everybody else is doing it, and they're thinking that they're doing the right thing. And then you have some people that's going to do it that they're not going to really want to do it, just like with the whole juicy shit. But they're going to be like, oh man, I just got to do it. I have no other option. I got to continue to work. But there's going to be some certain lengthy number of men, starting with the 144, but then the whole house of David that is still alive, that is not going to have that mind to bow to me, man. That they're going to rather accept the possibility of death. Because, hey, the Lord the Lord said it, there's some of you that's not going to taste death. But you have the mindset that you would rather accept death than to follow, worship the image of the beast, worship the beast, and that in itself is a faith that the Lord is going to reward for, man. Because if you had a mindset out here, I'd rather accept death than take this, this stab. A lot of people look at you like, yo, what? You're crazy. I'm not dying for that. No. What about my son? What about my children? They want to try to come up with all these carnal reasons on why you should do it. But there's no carnal reason for us. There's no reason on this earth that can persuade us to actually do that, man. Even if they say, oh, you're going to die, like how Nebuchadnezzar did. Like, oh, we're not careful to answer you. It's still the same answer, man. As a matter of fact, don't even ask us. The answer is, you're going to waste your time, you're wasting your breath. Go talk to him up the street, man. Go talk to the ones who don't believe that this is the CHI street, the MOTB. You might get them, but you ain't getting us, man.
Right? Verse 6. And if by grace, then it is no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it is otherwise work is no more work. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
That's right, man. Israel have not obtained it. The knowledge, hey, the grace. We obtained the grace, man. Hey, the spirit of grace rests upon us, man. The fact that we have this mindset to come out here and serve the Lord, because we are in this grace period, and we're taking advantage of this grace period. So we obtained the grace and mercy of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And we're just hoping that we can endure and continue in it. That's why King David said, take not thy Holy Spirit from you. Because the Lord's only going to have mercy on the ones who have the Holy Spirit on them. You know? That was it.
One more. Verse 8, it says, according as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day.
Until this day. And that's the same thing you see with the majority of our people. They're still in this zombified bubble state that they don't see, although they're being loaded. They said it in the book of Habakkuk, that you should work a work in that day, though it be told unto you, you're not going to believe it. It's being told unto you, man. Everywhere you go, you hearing about the Israelites prophesying, speaking about biblical prophecy being unfolded right now, man.
Right.
Okay? Esau is even talking about things that are happening, man. The Lord put out his spirit said about all flesh. You got whistleblowers, you got these so-called truthers that is all linking up things that are happening to biblical prophecy. Now, they're not doing it as we're doing it, making it plain, but a lot of these people, they know that the digital, the CBDC, and all of that is tied to the MOTB, man. But if you are being told something when you're asleep, it's like you're not hearing it, and that's what these people are. You're spiritually asleep. So although if I tell you a secret in your sleep, do you know the secret? Did you hear the secret? So when if you wake up, if I tell you, if I give you a warning, say, when you wake up and you gotta get out the bed on the left side because you gotta get out of bed on the right side because you go on the left side, there's a big ditch. You're gonna fall into a pit. And I tell you that while you're sleeping. When you wake up, I told it to you, but when you wake up, you go on the left side, you're gonna fall into that pit. And it's because you heard this while you were sleeping. That's why the scripture tells you, let us awake out of sleep, man. And we are sounding a trumpet, but they're in a deep sleep. So a trumpet being blown while somebody's in a deep sleep, you would need the Lord to wake you up out of that so you can hear the trumpet. And that's what Hey, you see that when people are in a hypnosis, they are still in that conscious, they're in that subconscious state. Although the person who put them in that hypnosis spot, they're talking still, but they can't hear them. They're in a trance. You know, they're in that trance, and they're being told information, but they don't realize that they can't dissect the information that they're being told. And that's the majority. These people in this world, man. These people that don't got the spirit of the Lord, they're hearing these words, but they can't understand them because they're in that deep sleep. Yep, they're in that deep sleep. And it's really, we always say, it's very easy to see once you're awake. Like a person who is awake, if they can see, like the example I just gave with the pit on the left side, they can easily see that, there's a big ass pit on the left side of your bed. Don't go there. But the people that were asleep, they can't see that. So it's like we're living in two different realities, man. It's two different realities. It's the ones who are in the matrix and the ones who are unplugged from the matrix.
The precept you mentioned about the fools in slumber. This is Ecclesiasticus 22, verse 8. He that telleth a tale to a fool speaketh to one in a slumber. When he hath told his tale, he will say, what is the matter?
Yep. Hey, that's why the Lord said, cast not thy pearls upon swine. Because they would trample on it and then try to render you. We giving you the keys of life, and you trampling on it. So it's like, you don't deserve this shit. You know?
That's what they said something about how his word can be offensive to the average mind.
Right.
You
Yeah.
mentioned that, so it kind of ties in with this one.
It said, what is the matter, man?
Right.
Like, what's up? Like, what's the problem? You didn't hear what I just told you? No. And that's why, hey, man, that's why being awoken in itself is a mercy, man.
Yeah.
Being having this knowledge, being awake to what is real. I always say, like, I'll call us hopeful realists, you know, because we see things how it is, but we also have a hope based off of the faith in the words of the Lord to what will be, you know, because you got pessimists and you got optimists. Optimist people don't deal with reality, and pessimist people don't deal with reality. But we deal with reality, but we deal with it on a hopeful matter, man. And that's why the Lord said, what? My peace I leave unto you. My joy I give unto you, not as this world gives. Because we got something that, we have a hope that goes beyond this world. Goes beyond because if we were just realists, we would just be, you know, just got to deal with the day-to-day bullshit, just whatever, just try to make the best out of whatever it is. But we deal with the reality of the world. We got to bear our indignation. We know that we are in captivity. We know that we don't have any power, but we also, at the end of the day, still can fall back on the comfort of hope. That in the words of the Lord, man.
That's right. Good one. 1 Thessalonians 5:8. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation.
The hope of salvation. And that's something that Esau can't take away. You know, in the video I did a couple of days ago, I was watching this TV show on Netflix called Sandman. The Sandman, which the Sandman. Oh yeah. You watched? Oh, you saw the trailer?
Good, right?
Ishmael. That shit, I thought it was gonna be good too. That shit weird as hell, man. They dealing with fucking androgynous people and shit. It's supernatural, but like, so he's a god of dreams. He has his siblings is Desire and something else. Death and one more. But Desire is a dude that looks like a woman. But it's not even like a transgender. It looks like it's that weird androgynous shit where like when you look at him, like, you can't tell because it's
The Prince.
no, even worse than Prince. Like long hair, nails, but he got a deep voice. Like he talking like a man, but he looks like a woman. Yeah. So yeah, but even past that nigga too. Past that. Like that shit was weird, yo. But the concept of it, the reason why I started watching this, I thought the concept might have been cool because the trailer, it looked cool. But anyway, at one point, so his powers got stolen, and one of his powers, he had like 3 different powers. One of his powers got taken by a demon. So he had to go to hell to go get the power from the demon. But Satan was an Edomite woman. So the demon basically was like, yo, if you want this power back, I challenge you to a duel. So he was like, all right, who do you choose? He's like, I'm gonna choose. The demon was like, I'm choosing Satan to be basically the person who's going to defend me. And then he was like, all right, I'm gonna choose myself. So the way they dueled was they basically had to name things that can conquer other things. So first, I think he named like a horse or some shit like that, and then Satan named like a snake that can bite the heel of the horse, and then he named like a bird that can kill the snake. So they kept going back and forth to where Satan went to, he was like, yo, I'm death. That I'm a destroyer of everything. I'm the end of everything. So he was dying, and then he was like, I'm hope. And then hope, basically, you can't destroy hope. Like death goes above, hope goes above death, man. So he was like, I'm hope, which is faith. And it was like, and the same when he said that, she was like, get out. Because like that's one thing Satan, that's what Esau wants. He wants to destroy our hope. Because if you destroy the hope of somebody, then it's over. They have nothing to look forward to. And that's where Esau is trying to present death. In Revelation 3 verse 15, who won't worship the beast, they shall all be killed. So if you don't got hope, death will conquer you. And then you will take that Karabi. But if you still got hope, Esau can't, which is like the elder said, to not tie with faith, he can't destroy you. He has no power over you in that point. And that's why they said that they love not their lives until the death. Because they got that faith that's so strong. So I was seeing that, then they'll keep fighting, and Esau can't conquer that. He can't overcome that. That's the one. And Esau doesn't have hope. He doesn't have. He can't He can't get it, and he can't destroy it. And that's been given to us. That's why I said you are saved by grace through faith. You know, that's how you're saved, man. It's through the faith. So as long as you keep hope and maintaining that faith, hey, you're more than a conqueror, man. You got power over it, man. And that's why the hour temptation, Jacob's trouble, none of those things should move you. Because as long as you maintain your faith in the Lord, you will always conquer and be and overcome those things. You will get the victory over. You'll get the victory over those things. Yeah, so that it was a weird show, but that part right there, the Sandman on Netflix. But that part right there, you know, that's the spiritual connectivity. I'm like, oh, they know, man, and that's what this devil is going to try to do. Because a lot of people in this world, they don't got faith, man. They got faith in things that they see. That's it. They don't, and that's not really faith. The scripture tells you that. What's faith in something, hope in something you can see is not hope.
Right. There's a bit more in Romans 11. Two more verses. So Romans 11:8 again. According as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. And David saith, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back always.
Hey, David's speaking about Israelites, man. You know? So you talking about, you gotta pray for the wicked. No, we pray for the elect that are wicked right now to wake up and repent. But the ones who are willfully wicked, the ones who love to have this wicked world continue, let their tables be made a snare. You know? You want to sit at the table. Jake always saying, I just want to seat at the table. I want to seat at the table. I want to sit where Esau, and that table is going to be made a snare to you, man. 2nd Ezra 16. It said, they that consent shall be had in derision, man. You can sit into this devil trying to be lined up with him, trying to join hand in hand. You trying to get a seat at that table. Well, that chair is going to be an electric chair on your ass, man. That table, all that food, I believe it's in Proverbs, it says, desire not the dainties or the meats of the king, or of a wicked person. Something to that effect. Because basically, you just desiring their meats. You desiring their meats, that's poisonous food right there, man. So you looking at it like it looks delicious, but really when you eat it, your esophagus is about to fucking swell up. You want to choke to death. Even John spoke about he wondered after the woman, and he said, "Why are you doing this? Let me show you who she is, man." Like, you don't want to wonder after that. But it looked good to the eye, just like Eve. It was pleasing it was good for taste, good to the eyes, to the fleshly things, to the sensual. That's why you gotta walk in the spirit. You can't look at this life on a carnal sense. Because Esau can present you with anything of your carnal desires. You want money, you want fame, you want women, you want all of these carnal things that make you feel good, you can get it. You can get it. But what is the end of it? It's gonna lead to what? Your demise.
There's a book of Psalm, chapter 141, verse 4. It says, incline not my heart to any evil thing, to practice wicked works with men that work iniquity, and let me not eat of their dainties. We jump down to verse 8. It says, but mine eyes are unto thee, O power, the Lord. In thee is my trust. Leave not my soul destitute. Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me, and the gins of the workers of iniquity. Like a trap. Let the wicked fall into their own nets, whilst that I withal escape. So going back to that point that you were making, that if you keep your trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, He will always make a way. But if you resort to the carnal ways and try to find a carnal solution to a spiritual problem, Esau's going to get you. All right, so you must maintain faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because that's the only way out. All right?
It's all about faith. That's why the Lord said, this is a forward generation, children of whom is no faith. I will see what their latter end shall be. All right? And that's why even Yahweh Shah said it, that when the Son of Man comes, so you find faith on the earth. It's only going to be the faithful that gets the victory, man. And that's why faith is the key ingredient in order to this delicious meal that we're going to partake in, man. If you don't got faith, it's like not having salt. You make a dish, without salt, it's not like, this shit is bland. It don't taste good. That's what faith is, man. None of this, you can't survive, you can't endure, you can't be courageous if you don't got faith. Faith is what makes you want to stand up to this battle. With the Lord, having faith in the words of the Lord makes you courageous enough to go to the battle, man, to fight the condition of the battle. But when you lose faith, then you lose everything. You lose your will, your desire, the desire to continue to fight. You lose your knowledge. Because the reason why you got knowledge is because you had the faith to study for the knowledge. That's why you pass the test, because you got faith that if you study, you will pass the test.
Right.
You can't just. That's why it says faith without works is dead. You can't just, I have faith I'm gonna pass the test, but don't study. You're like, nah, bro, you gotta put in the work. Your work, the evidence of that you got faith is the fact that you put in the work to study for it.
Yep. Just like with the high school dropout. They
Right.
have a faith that they finish the school or have vision that them finishing and be beneficial for them. So they give up. They start cutting classes, not coming, skipping, cutting, leaving early and shit. And you just give up and just drop out.
Yep. Or if you have the works, you know that without faith, that's like you studying, but if you don't have faith that you'll pass the test, you just don't go take the test.
Right.
So it's like, what's the point of, you did all that, what's the point of it, but you didn't have faith you'll pass it, so you just don't even take it. You need both, man. So it's like, I ain't gonna pass this, man. Yeah. Or you just like, you just do it, just start sucking this seed, try to make a little design and shit. Yeah.
People do that.
Yeah. He's right. So do it through a tough time.
Oh shoot! This is Ecclesiasticus 36 and 1. It says, "Have mercy upon us, O Lord, God of all, and behold us, and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee.
Right.
Lift up thine hand against the strange nations, and let them see thy power."
Yo, so this is, I always find it amazing how people, that's why people don't read the Bible, man, because it's like, this is very, I don't even call it racist, let's call it nationalist. The Bible is the most nationalist book out in the world. Because this book literally is there's prayers, there's songs, there's supplications of great and holy men to the Lord of destroying nations of people. It's not like y'all just got people just one nigga. No, like yo, kill their whole nation. Like I don't care. The little baby that I don't give a fuck. Like show your power in them. Like yo, you read it like yo, these men they but that's how it is, man. Cause like you as a man, and that's how I remember I heard Elder Yashua said it's like yo, we are ancient mentality, ancient men in a modern world. That shit don't mix. You know, it don't mix. Because in the ancient world, our mentality would fit right in. You know, how we think that we for our people, we for our nation. The nation of Moab, they're like, okay, well, yeah, we for our nation. And these other nations, they're still like that, but they've been Babylonianized a little bit. A lot, I can't even say a little bit. A lot of nations have been Babylonianized. But when it comes down to the come down, especially when it comes to Israel, these nations are still nationalists against us, man. You know? That's why you still got those Edomite men or parents that don't want their children, you know, mingling with Jake. You know, Jake men and et cetera and stuff like that. It's only our people that tries to mix and mingle and be with everybody, man. You know, but these prayers that these holy men were doing, these are prayers that the Lord was listening to, and it pleased him to hear these things, man. It's not like, oh man, that's evil. Right. Lord, like, yeah, pray for that. I'm gonna do it. So pray that I bring destruction on these people. So pray that I bring destruction, man. And that's what that's what we supposed to be praying for now. The Lord to bring a judgment upon Idumea in the Gawaiim, man.
Mm-hmm. Psalm 59 and 5. Thou therefore, O Yahweh, power of hosts, the power of Israel, awake to visit all the heathen. Be not merciful to any wicked transgressors. Salah. I'll read it again. Psalms 59 and 5. Thou therefore, O Yahweh, power of hosts, the power of Israel, awake to visit all the heathen.
Awake to visit all the heathen. And who are the heathens? The heathens are non-Israelites. So go ahead.
Be not merciful
to any wicked transgressor. Salah, be not merciful to any wicked transgressor. So pretty much, they asking for the Lord for a hit against these other nations as well as those that are being wicked. But how can everybody take part of this book? Who's going to be the targets and who's going to be the ones issuing the targets? Because clearly the scriptures are for somebody and against somebody. Like King David said, he chased his enemies and they cried even unto the Lord, but he didn't hear them. Then did I beat them small as the dust of the earth. So who was successful in that? The scriptures talk about there's going to be servants in the kingdom. You know, so not everybody's going to be in the king. Not everybody's going to be in a high position. So who's going to be on the bottom and who's going to be on the top? And the Lord doesn't deal individually in this sense. He's dealing with a nation. And the nation of Israel is going to be over these other nations. So if somebody from another nation grabs the scriptures, the news they're going to find out is what? That their nation is going to be on the bottom. It doesn't matter what you do.
It's the book of Psalm, chapter 139, and verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord Yahweh, that hate thee? And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee?
But the world will teach you that hate is bad. Hate is not bad. The scripture says you're supposed to love the good and hate the evil. So how can hate be bad? If you say, no, hate is bad, you can't hate anything, what about murder? You know, what about these bad things? You can't hate bad things? I hate to do wickedness. Is that bad? So a lot of people, they say things, but they're not equal. As the Lord said, are not your ways unequal?
It says, verse 22, I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies.
Perfect hatred. So King David said what? All they that hate the Lord, he hates them. Now what? What is love of the Lord? Keeping his commandments. So what would be hating of the Lord? Not keeping his commandments. So you have certain Israelites that don't keep the Lord's commandments, and as King David said here, he hates them with a perfect hatred. I mean, that's just it.
Still 30 seconds?
Yeah. This is back in Sirach chapter 36, verse 4. It says, as thou wast sanctified in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us.
Yep. Hey, the Lord sanctified us by giving us his order, his laws. You know, he made us, because the word sanctified basically means to be made clean. All right, and it tells you that in the book of Deuteronomy, 4th chapter, that these when we practice our laws and commandments, that these nations will see that what we are a wise people, a people that has the Most High, the living power, not unto them. And it says, so since you cleansed us in the sight of them, now magnify thyself. You know,
in 1700 hours.
And how is the Lord going to magnify itself? By way of the deliverance, by doing, you know, miraculous wonders. All right, the bringing the judgments, the wrath. Because like I always say, all of the things that's happening in the world, ain't no other nation of people saying that their God is doing this. Right. People not even saying Jesus is doing this. Right. We're the only ones that's saying, oh, this is the Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that's bringing these things, man. And the more the Lord does that, and the more we boast that name, the more the Lord gets magnified. Because Muhammad is not, Allah is not taking credit. Buddha is not taking credit. Kali's not taking credit. This is the workings of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man.
Right. Continuing on, verse 5, it says, and let them know thee as we have known thee, that there is no God but only thou, O power.
Yep. And we are heralds of that, man. That we are the ones that's saying that our power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is in the midst of this, of all of this chaos and all of these plagues that are being sent. These floods, these droughts, these heat waves, all of this turmoil, the hail that's happening. Every time there's some event that's taking place, our brother's up on it, bringing it out and saying the judgment of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So you read about, if you come across a video of brothers, because like brothers, I don't want to say damn near, but brothers are basically newscasters now. That's what the prophets are. We're newscasters. So, and we're all on the same channel. You know what I mean? It's like we're all taking the same thing. So it's like, yo, and they keep saying that Yahweh is doing this. So at a certain point, it's like now when people hear, when all these things happen, it's like, yo, this guy said that this God is doing this. no other God and say, no, I did this. Ain't nobody, nah. This is the Heavenly Father. This is Yahweh's program, man. And this is how the Lord is being made known as the one and only true living power. And we are the only ones that are speaking those things. And that's a good position to be in.
Because it's beautiful too, because not only are we able to tell you and explain to you why these things are happening, we tell you these things were said to happen before they're happening, and the more things are going to come after these things that are happening. So who's getting all the credit? The Most High. You see, he says, okay, the things that's happening right now, guess what? I'm the one who's doing it. I told you I was going to do it, and now there are things that's going to come after this. What do you say about that? Ain't no other God who's doing this. But our Heavenly Father Yahweh is the one who's doing this through his Son, through his prophets. All right?
Hey, that's like the forecast, man. When he give you the 7-day forecast, that's what we're doing, man. We're telling you, yo, right now how it looks, it's dark and gloomy, but the next 7 days it's gonna be even dark and gloomy.
Right.
That's what we telling you. There's no peace, man. There's no peace. There's evil, and only evil is coming. Matter of fact, this is only the beginning of the storm. The storm is going to intensify as the days progress. And who brought the storm, you ask? You know how they name the storms? This is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai storm, man.
That's right. All right, continuing on, Sirach 36:6. That's the point. Read 5 again. And let them know thee as we have known thee, that there is no God but only thou, O power. Show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, and that they may set forth thy wondrous works.
God, man. Hey, that's a prayer that brothers can instill in their daily prayers, man. Ask the Lord today, show new signs, man. You know, do other strange. It's like, it's always, people don't realize, people don't get out of that zombified state unless something like strange happens.
Right.
So you need like something like eerie, you know, the Barbs always say strange and eerie. You need some spooky shit to happen to wake you niggas up, man. So you can see what's going on in the world. So show some, so you pray, beseech the Lord, show something new, show something strange, you know? Bring those chariots down just a little bit lower. You know, just let them see what it look like, you know, be like, do something different. Just spice it up, yeah. You know, show us, it's like they did during the time of the Maccabees, you know? Like that time when I was telling y'all I was hearing some noise, I'm like, yo, man, that was a little weird, that was a little eerie, yo. I was like, yo, imagine if that wasn't, but obviously, I don't know what it was, but it wasn't something to where a lot of people knew because, you know, people just went about their day. But the Lord gonna have stuff to where people gonna be talking about for like time and time, like time, days. Yo, that was shit's crazy. Like chariots and chariot sightings, but now it gets lower. Something you can see like the windows of the chariot, something like that. That's how it's gonna get.
Something that's unexplainable.
Yeah.
Esau like to have an explanation.
Try to explain away things, yeah. Or like, you know, like a big ass a sinkhole just happens in the middle of Times Square or some shit like that.
Washington Bridge collapsed or some shit. Millions of people, like, crazy shit like that. Of course not.
Yeah. You know?
Or even that. Imagine something like that happens and you are there, and then a chariot just comes and swoop you up, or you have that. That's supernatural.
Yeah.
Where the car moves in the car. Oh yeah, going down the track. Yeah.
That's it.
On the earth?
No, it was a dream where something had happened and we had to go out. So as we're going, it turns to like a fighting scene. So we try to escape it, and as we're driving, there was a cliff. I didn't know that there was a cliff like falling down. So I said, yo, it looks like a cliff, bro. And what chased us is not what to do. So we just prayed, jumped off faith, and then just the car took off. So as we're going down, we're like, yo, it looks like we're about to crash. And then right away, we felt like an entity just swooped us, just like that. Right from the air, from crashing, just swooped us from there and took us to a safe landing. This was years ago, bro. Yeah,
But so you have to have the faith to jump off the cliff in order to do that.
Yeah.
So the Lord got to put you in that position to see, and that's the decisive position right there. It's either you're going to be afraid and you're going to let the people chasing you, you're going to fall into the hands of your enemies and let them just devour you and take over you, or you're going to jump off that cliff and then pray and put your faith in the hands of the Lord. And the Lord will be there to what? To deliver you right in the time of need.
The Satan tried to get the Lord to do that to attempt them.
Right.
But that was a balance because he know that's something he would do in that time, and the Lord would say his angels charged concerning thee.
Right.
but he used it as a premeditated thing
Right.
to just straight up and
Just do it. Yeah, Lord didn't need to do that.
Right,
Satan was like, yo, flex.
Right.
Flex if you really the son of the Most High. Why don't you go and flex and jump off this building? Like, nah. If you chasing me and I gotta do it, then that's a different thing. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna just jump off the building just cause.
Right. Then you on time.
Right. Oh, that's it. That was it.
No.
Okay, brother said yeah. Please.
'Cause to the point, I forget what the brother said it, but basically saying that the God of the Bible is the only explanation, and these other religions, gods are not taking responsibility or saying that they're the ones doing what's happening on the earth right now, whether it be good or bad. And this is the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 5, but the point is in 6. It says, "And the Lord God of hosts is he that toucheth the land, and it shall melt, and all that dwell therein shall mourn, and it shall rise up wildly like a flood, and shall be drowned as by the flood of Egypt." And here's the point. "It is he that buildeth his stories in heaven, and have founded his troop in the earth. He that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth, the Lord is his name." Like no, if I may, like no other entity, no other religions, God is saying whatever they created. Maybe Allah may say, but they're swingman of the Bible. If you know anything about swingman, those are the faker jerseys, but kind of real jerseys. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said he, through him, all things exist. And there's been no other God and no other prophets from there's been no other God and no other there's been no other God and no other prophets from other religions to dispute this, man. You'll never hear a so-called Muslim prophet come to the Israelites and say what Allah did instead of Yahweh, man. What did these other guys do? That's what the brother just said. He said no other God is taking responsibility, is saying or prophesying what's going to happen in this earth and what is going on right now and in the past.
Right.
The Bible has the past, present, and future.
That's right.
All intertwined. All these scriptures intertwined with each other. Remember, this is all one big show that the Lord made. This is his movie, as brothers always say.
Any brothers got any other precepts? We close it out.
I have one. Psalms 59 and 12. "For the sin of their mouth and the words of their lips, let them even be taken in their pride. And for cursing and lying which they speak, consume them in wrath. Consume them that they may not be. And let them know that Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, ruleth in Jacob unto the ends of the earth." Salah, right? So the Lord is known by the judgment that he executes. So that's why we're calling on the Lord to do this, because his own name is going to be magnified when he destroys Babylon the Great. Now, we know that we're unworthy at the end of the day, but it's all about the glorification of the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. You know, even in the Song of the Three Holy Children, which we had read earlier, they said to save us for thy name's sake. You know, to not let us be confounded for thy name's sake, because we are in covenant with you. You know? So it's all about the Lord's name and the purity. And that's why we have to be holy and sanctified to the best of our ability with him.
Hey, yeah, that's why the scripture says, hallowed be thy name. You know, Lord gave us his name in these times, and we're using it. But he gave us his name in these times so that he would have to act on us beseeching him, because he took his name from us for a certain period of time. So the things that were happening to us, we couldn't call upon him. You know, when the time of slavery and those things, we had to suffer those things. But in order for those things to happen, he had to take his name from us. Because we read in the book of Judges, every time we went off and we got the Lord judged us for it, we would call upon him, requiring him, and we knew his name back then. So he would hearken unto us, because that's how much love he had for us. So he's like, you know what? I gotta turn my back from them, and there has to be a falling away so that they can't call upon me. Because if they call upon me, I'm gonna have to hearken unto them. But now the Lord, this is how the Lord is giving us mercy, is showing us mercy, because now we have his name again. And once we have his name, now he's like, I gotta act, because I can't let my name be tainted. I can't let my name be polluted. They're calling upon me. They're saying I'm gonna do all these things that I said I was gonna do. I wrote about it, and now these men are in the position, they're praying and they're speaking about it boldly. So I gotta come through. You know? It's like you got a big brother. You're like, yo, my big brother fuck you up. You hyping him up. And now he gotta come in and match the where they say your reputation has preceded you. That's what they gonna say to the Lord, man. Like, 'cause we repping the Lord right now. Like we rapping your name mad hard. Like yo, you don't know that. Yo, we freaked out. He gonna do this. He gonna do that. He gonna do that. And it's like when he come through, your reputation has preceded you. Meaning what you were, who they said. Hey, yeah, that follows. Actually, you gonna surpass that. You gonna pass what they said. We wish you just did what they said what you gonna do. Like nah, I got way more sauce than what they even said, man.
Like announcers.
Yeah,
you know how like they do with Hulk Hogan, 6'3", coming to the ring, then he comes down.
Super heavyweight champion of the world.
36 spiked up, 36-inch arms, and turn the pipes up. Then they come out and shit like, But that's what we doing. We making an announcement before the Lord actually reigns.
And they come out with the entourage too. That's what the angels. They be coming out. That's what the Lord gonna do. There you go. And they be running to the ring.
and the bad guy's like, oh my God, like, oh, shit, you start running around and shit trying to hide, and you grab him.
Hey, that's what we doing, man. So we announcing the Lord. We basically ushering him in, man.
Yeah.
And when he come in, that's why he said, who's who is this traveling in the greatness of his strength? Mighty to save. You know? When he gonna come, it's gonna be in great strength, man. Just his aura alone is gonna have a vibe to it, man. Just the aura alone. Even the entrance, how he gonna come is gonna be powerful. What Zersky say in 300 says for vengeance sake, for glory's sake, war. And that's what the Lord, he said, I'm coming for vengeance and glory. He said for vengeance sake and for glory's sake, war. Yeah. Said yeah. He was like.
See, the elites wish they had power like that. They ain't got no, they can't declare that. People who like to
Old ass out of Who the hell is this?
Bro, you got Biden over here mumbling over his words, getting heckled. Shut the fuck up! Like, yo, you got no respect, man. Imagine, man. That's why in the kingdom, when the Lord comes back, it's going to... That day alone, man, that's going to be... They said the mountain's going to try to flee. The mountain's going to flee.
Oh, Becky said, Lord, were you mad at the tree?
River? Tree's like, I didn't do nothing. You going to get burned up, bro. Hey, well, that's just what it is, man. That's the power of the Lord. That's it, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, how you said how we say something, but the Lord comes, he completely overdoes that. When Elijah was basically going against the prophets of Baal, all the Lord had to do was just light up the sacrifice. He took that, he took the altar, he took the water, he took the stones, he took everything.
That's not, we call it an overkill, man.
Yeah.
You know? That's how the Lord is. Hey, that's how a lion is. You know, lion overkills. They tear and devour, man. Devour into pieces. Certain animals, they only eat what they need. But a lion, now they take, that's what they say, I want the lion's share. You know, and that's what he's called, the lion of the tribe of Judah. You see, he coming out of that thicket, man.
And it's crazy too, because when you think of a lion, when he's coming, they don't really have that approach of like hesitance. He's just coming in and doing what he got to do. That's the spirit of Yahushua is coming, because you might have the mindset, oh, he's coming in and it's going to be, war in heaven, and then we're going to wait. Nah, he just come like, it's like a flood, like a power, like boom, breaking through everywhere. Yeah, like whatever's in sight is out of the way. Like no matter if you like, oh no, or I'm fighting back, it's like boom, breaking right through it. That's how Yahushua is going to be. And then 1 hour, America's going to be done, finished.
And that power is going to be, that's when this earth is going to realize that whatever they thought they had was not, it's not nothing. Like it's your thoughts of, and that's where it says that all knees are going to bow. Because when you bow to something, that you're showing that you have authority over me, that I have no power against you. So if you're going to have every knee bow, and not just bow, but you're going to make them confess. Now you gotta say it.
That's right.
Call it, say uncle. And that's funny because the word uncle that's actually the word David, Dawud. Yeah, when you look into it, it's beloved and it says /uncle. You know? Yeah. So that saying with Jake, will say uncle, when he have him in a headlock, getting the next of our enemies, say uncle. That's what Jake's saying, man. And that scripture tells you that what? God's giving me the next of my adversaries. So say uncle, say David, say house of David.
The Lord had what? Mercy on David.
Have mercy on David.
And when you say uncle, you ask for mercy.
We're asking for mercy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn, that's heavy.
Yeah.
When you grab that out of the etymology?
Yeah, when you go into the etymology of the word Davidah, if you go into the word uncle, it's actually beloved. It's David. The word uncle is actually David. It's actually beloved. So like the word uncle is Davidah as well. As
And you know what's crazy? As relatives, though, your uncle is like kind of the one you close to.
Right.
And he not as judgmental as your father is.
Right. Your uncle have more mercy on you
Than your action. He's like an offshoot of your father, but he's like more lean and merciful.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? I gotta go see what Sam means. I should probably be saying Satan and shit. The cruel mercies, the tender mercies of wicked. The cruel, that's what you devils, man. Uncle Sam's watching. Yeah, for real. Nigga just got the big haggis. Uh-oh, yeah, he wants you. You saw a damn devil, man. Hey, that shit not demonic. Uncle Sam wants you. That shit is pointing at you and shit.
wants your soul.
Yeah, basically.
That's a draft advertisement.
Yeah, that is.
What you mean that it's draft time, you're coming to the military.
Well, we domestic terrorists. So
Hey, and even with the whole on the left hand, that's how you know everything's duality and Esau upside down. Because what they call like surveillance, Big Brother, and Big Brother's watching. You know, Yahweh Shai, he's watching over us for good, but this devil trying to watch over us for evil. So you have to pay for it, man. This time's up. You know, time's up. We touched on the little prophecies, but we do that throughout the week. All those things that's going on, man. But as you see, it's over. It's time's over, man. So we got the victory. You know, we in a position of just straight winning. You know, all we got to do is just continue to hold the faith. You know, continue to stay steadfast, and hey, we right here, man. You know, we right here. So, you know, Lord willing, this is exhorting and edifying, uplifting to the elect, giving all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Hey, shalom to the house of David, man.
Shalom.